if it looks like I've just come back from a sweaty, humid run, it's because I have just come back from a sweaty, humid run. And I'm only here just to say a couple of words, but it'll probably end up being 5 minutes before I dart off to refresh myself in something clean. What did I want to get off my chest? Yes, Jethro.
Okay.
The man who ghosts me more than any woman has ever done, and then fluts his eyelids in my direction. And I get lured. I get lured every time. And it's like, he's like, yeah, I can probably squeeze you in tonight. And I'm like, all right, yeah. As long as
that is not true.
Then he starts calling the shots. Got a split screen with Baez, by the way, at some point. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, Jethro, whatever you want. Whatever, you're the boss. And then I'm wondering, by the way, about the split screen, Jethro. Is that because on a full screen, you can't really see him so well, so you got to...
No, well, I mean, if I'm split screen, I have to have this screen and then 2 matches. So I'm barely going to see anything of anything, to be honest.
Okay. All right.
And John, I'm sorry that I work. Dreadfully sorry that I can't do a tennis commentary at 9 a.m. on a Wednesday.
I know, that's no problem. And to be honest with you, Jethro, you also know even the ghosting doesn't matter as long as you get back to me every now and again and say, "Yep, I'm up for it."
I'm great at replying to you. I always tell you what I'm doing.
Nick,
I've been out on the piss the night before, I've got
Nick, by the way, some people might be surprised to see him, but I'm wondering if he saw the late lineup change or late lineup introduction of Jethro and thought, I need to get in on some of that. Nick?
That's exactly what happened, John. That is exactly what happened. Because let's face it, Jethro is the most elusive member of the team. And, clearly he's clearly you're being a little bit more needy towards him. But I'm always up for a chat with Jethro and Bianca as well. But I spoke to Bianca a couple of days ago, whereas I haven't spoken to Jethro in a long time. Sorry, what?
I've seen you a lot. Jethro is a new elusive figure for me. I think this is the first time I've actually met you.
It's nice to meet you.
It might be. You might not see him again for another 12 months. So make sure you make the most of it, Bianca.
I did Sinner Djokovic at the ATP finals. All right, so that was massive. That covers me for like a year. So this is actually just bonus. First one, not the dreadful final. No.
I'm just sending a witty tweet. So somebody say something while I finish this very, very funny and clever tweet.
Yeah. I mean, it depends if you want us to continue to roast Jethro or not, because clearly that's going to be the theme for the stream. And I think Ashley is going to be very sad that she's missing out on the opportunity.
Well, indeed. Talking of Ashley, I want to share this tweet. And on that bombshell, I'm going to go have a shower. I'll speak to you soon.
I think we're all great. I think we're all grateful that John is having a shower.
Where is Ashley?
Who knows? Probably watching a football game or something. I have a question. Have you two recovered from yesterday yet?
No.
What a wild thing, honestly.
The tennis finished 7 hours ago. Medvedev won his match 7 hours ago.
I went for a haircut after Rusevori went 2 sets to love up, and I was like, on the way back, I was like, I bet Medvedev is in a full set with a break, and he was, sure enough. And then, I was just thinking it was inhumane that they were still playing, but thankfully Medvedev won the 5th set very easily.
Yeah, probably a bit too. I was surprised how easily he won it, but I think Rusevori kind of faded by the end, didn't he?
He was done, which I don't blame him either. But
Brian on Facebook is looking forward to Taylor Fritz and Stefanos Tsitsipas. I don't think they're playing each other. They're not. Fritz is playing Roshan, and
I think he's just talking about their separate matches.
Maybe.
He has a parlay.
Wow.
Do you want both?
Who's
to win? Is that what it is?
Tsitsipas is playing Van Ash, right?
Yeah.
I kind of dismissed it in my brain because I went, I'm not sure that will be worth watching unless Van Ash wins in 5.
Van Ash is playing well.
Yeah. Who did he beat? He beat somebody of note.
Yeah, Musetti, I think.
Mm.
Mm.
New father on tour.
Yes, God, he's like what, 12?
Literally, I was gonna say it's giving teen parent.
Wait, Lorenzo Musetti.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right. He mentioned it in Adelaide, didn't he? He was in his on-court interview. Yeah, he's 21, nearly 22.
Crazy.
Oh,
To be fair, like when Fritz arrived on the scene, he was 18 and married with a kid.
He's
was-
married. Why did I not know
Yeah.
that? I knew he had a kid.
It's
He
really
was.
weird. Like, it never gets mentioned anymore, obviously, because it was years ago. But I remember when he first broke through, that was like all I knew him as. I was like this American married guy.
I mean, also, it never gets mentioned because Morgan.
Yeah, she's a queen.
True. True.
Love her. Did you guys stay up for the Iga match, by the way?
Yeah,
No.
that was the last one I watched, and what a heartbreaker.
Yeah. Well, not for Nick. To be fair, I'm a bit of an Iga fan as well, to be fair, but I do love Collins.
No, I mean, I did. So basically, I knew that like there was no way that I could watch Iga and get a decent amount of sleep. So because my brain, I needed my brain to function today. So I went to bed early-ish, woke up at 6, stuck the mat, did not check any scores or anything, just checked to see if there was 5 setters in progress or something like that. Saw that there was Zverev and Norrie and Rude had all come through in 5. I thought, okay, it's been a dramatic day. Go to my app where the match was like I can get the replays of, and I see, Iga Collins is 3 hours. What the hell happened? And then I watched the match. I think I worked out it was a 3-setter, so I skipped set 2, went straight to set 3, not knowing the outcome. And when Collins went 4-1 up, and I saw how much was left of the match, I was like, nah, like this is going to be the upset. Iga's out in round 2. I'm going to be sad for the rest of the day. What's going to happen the rest of the tournament? And then I just watch, like, I don't know what I watched unfold, but I quite enjoyed it. So yeah, that was but regardless of me being a fan, as a neutral, that was a really, really good match, only eclipsed by the utter madness that was Rebecca Blinkova. And I, as someone who's a big WTA fan, I was very satisfied that 2 WTA matches kind of eclipsed all the men's 5-setters in terms of all the fun.
Yeah, it was. You honestly, I kind of wish you were awake, Nick, because it was crazy. Like all the Iga fans on the timeline were just having an absolute meltdown. Yeah.
Oh, I
can't blame them.
I never check the timeline when Iga's playing because I know exactly what it's going to be like, whether she's winning or losing.
Yeah, it's despair either way. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I had that on. I had Casper Ruud against Purcell on, which was also really good. And so I was just kind of, my eyes were just darting between them. It was insane. And then Alcaraz Sonego was up and Tommy Paul against Jack Draper. And it was 5:30 in the morning at this point. I was like, okay, I'll try and watch these, but I've got work at 9. And then fell asleep at 5:30. So, woke up late for work as well. So that was nice.
I bet you were super popular.
I don't think anyone. It's really quiet today, so no one really knows.
Nobody noticed.
I don't think anyone knows. No.
I don't know what that says about how good Jethro is at his job, that he could sleep in and no one notice.
Yeah, I'm just that good.
Yeah. Okay. Bianca, I mean, yeah, what was your... Were you similar problem of trying to watch... you've got your crazy multi-screen set up, so you probably caught everything.
Yeah. I mean, I was focusing on Iga's match, but what time was it? I'm like, the days are melting together. That was the last one I watched. I watched a little bit of the Alcaraz one, but then I went to sleep. When I woke up this morning, I was just like, let me just check the scores. And then I saw, like, on Google, it has like the active little scores going. I see Medvedev still playing, and I was like, what is going on? Like, this is so crazy. It's such a ridiculous day.
I mean, that was partly Raducanu's fault.
Yeah.
Around Raducanu kind of going long on their matches.
Yeah, I watched the tie break of that one. I didn't get to watch that match.
Same. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was absolutely mental.
I couldn't see it because like something came up where I couldn't have a screen on and I couldn't listen to it. So like I had a live score up and then my phone died at 15:15 in the tiebreak. So I had no idea until like later I could get some phone and like check it after like I would finished with what I was doing, like work wise. So literally before this stream started, I'd been watching that match back just to see what the fuss was about, and I wish I'd seen it live.
Yeah.
So do I. One thing I missed quietly while all this was happening, my number 4 pick in the power rankings just is out of the tournament now. Completely missed that while all this was going on. So shout out to
Men's or women's?
And men's.
Oh yeah, you did the men's one. Sorry.
Yeah. You did the women.
Yeah, so Runa out.
Yeah.
Damien picked that match because they could give him some problems to commentate.
Damien always knows everything about any kind of player outside the top 100. He's the go-to guy. I did actually catch Menzik Kirkatch, which was really quite good at times, to be fair.
They went 5, didn't it?
Yeah, they went 5. I thought Menzik was really, really impressive, which I thought he would be.
Yeah, there were a lot of good. Obviously, everyone was kind of for the 5 setters yesterday. Everyone was raving about Zverev, Klein, and Rude and Purcell. I didn't see anyone raving about Hurkacz, Menzik, but obviously 5 sets. And then
that did finish a lot later, to be fair.
Barely anyone's mentioned the Norrie match.
Yeah, I caught the first set. Zeppieri is absolutely redlining, to be fair. Norrie, I looked like Norrie was struggling with his wrist again, but I kind of, obviously, when Casper and Iga started, I kind of switched over to both of them, so I didn't really see the rest of the match.
Yeah, I thought about, I would have watched the Rude match back, but then like that was my original plan before Rybakina Blinkova, and I only had time to watch one match from today that I missed, and so I picked that one. But from what I gather, Rude against Purcell was really, really good.
It was. I mean, Purcell was just destroying the ball.
So close. All right. So, look, this was all. This is a sort of all emotionally processing what's been happening. What happened yesterday. Maybe today will be a bit calmer. We don't know.
I hope not.
It depends on how much you need it emotionally.
It just depends. If it's not my faves playing, I'm fine. Like watching Collins, Świątek, I'm neutral for that, so I was just along for the ride. If any match like that is happening with like Arena Sabalenka or anything like that, that's a different story. But
okay,
is Sabalenka your fave?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no,
my girl. So I'm hoping for the title defense.
Oh
nice.
Great! I know as soon as those two play in a final, you and I are on comms together.
Oh yeah, that's got to happen.
Have to.
Yeah. Although that did happen at the Madrid final because I was on with Ashley for that one. She's a big Sabs fan as well. So that was a good, and to be fair, that was a good match. But yeah, so Sabalenka, Tsurenko. I mean, look, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of a player. I get nervous whoever they play, but I would be fairly confident about beating Tsurenko.
Yeah.
I know she's in really, really good form. Tsurenko's beating all the players she should beat, but she's got a ceiling.
Yeah, I think Sabalenka's done with these upsets. I really hope I haven't just jinxed her there.
Let me knock on wood quickly.
Touch my desk. Yes, okay. Yeah, I mean, I've got her going to the final, but it's actually, to be fair, like I saw Vanch tweet before the tournament that he had the top 4 seeds of both men's and women's making the semis. And I was like, God, no way. And then I did my bracket. Women's, I had Coco, Iga, Sabalenka, and Rybakina. See, Rybakina's out. The only difference for the men's is I had Dimitrov beating Medvedev in the quarters, which I think looks quite possible now. Because Medvedev's not looked good.
No. I mean, do you think he might pick himself up for a couple of matches after that comeback?
Yeah, I mean, he's got Anisimova next, and Anisimova was playing pretty well. Played really well against Thiem. I didn't catch his match this morning, but
which has surprised me a bit. Like, I wasn't expecting Felix to pick up, especially since he pulled out of all his United Cup singles matches.
Yeah, it's a real shame because I like Felix a lot, but I was really hoping Thiem was going to win that match.
Do you know what? Two players who, well, yeah, I was hoping Thiem would win that match. To be honest, I predicted Thiem to win that match. But actually, two players that are in the same category in my brain of very good players. I wasn't expecting them to be performing. Are Felix and the person who's about to play in about 10 minutes or so, Paula Badosa. I was never expecting to look this good so quick. But Bianca, what are your thoughts on Paula Badosa?
I mean, I think she's come right back out of nowhere, truly. I had no expectations for her, so any match she wins, I'm like, oh, okay. All right, let's see what you can do next.
I think I genuinely can't call which way this match with Anisimova is going to go. To be honest,
especially because she's also coming back as well. They're both playing with basically nothing to lose. So,
if anything, I'm more surprised by Anisimova, to be honest, because it's been a while. I mean, Badosa, like when she was fit last season, did put in some really good performances, but Anisimova had a proper break. So yeah, this match could be really interesting.
Ashley, you're missing out on You're missing out on chatting with Jethro, but like send us in chat.
Hey,
if you want to roll back to the beginning of the stream, you can see us live roasting Jethro.
Yes, seems to happen every time I come on here. To be honest,
it probably happens a lot whenever you come on to record anything. To be honest,
yeah, it's just my role.
It's all right. I like you, really.
I know.
I mean, let's face it. We need the banter, Jethro.
Of course.
So
yeah, I was seeing someone saying they think Coco might beat Sabalenka in this tournament.
Bianca?
I mean, it depends if Arina Sabalenka has it together mentally. I joke she has brain on and brain off moments. If she starts to, we see those errors coming out, she starts to fall apart. I don't know. I don't trust her sometimes. Sometimes I'm screaming at the screen, keep it together. But I don't know. This is her place. She's a champion here. I'm not gonna not root for her and vote on her. So
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I also thought I agree with Tasakita. I think Coco Gauff could beat Sabalenka. They meet in the semis. I actually believe that's the point. I picked an Iga Coco final.
Iga Coco final. Where are you wishing out Coco?
Yeah, that's harsh, isn't it? Come on.
I mean, I didn't say who was going to win that match.
Well, we know who you're going to pick to win that. Come on.
Yeah. It's who most people pick that match. But Coco's beaten Iga once. That's enough to be dangerous and to pull off the title. I mean, part of me was actually kind of hoping for a Raducanu Coco final because that's a dynamic we haven't seen a lot of.
Yeah, I think was it Indian Wells they played last year, and Raducanu kind of smoked her, but Coco since a fair bit after that point has just kind of gone to a kind of new level. So yeah, that would be really interesting. I actually would quite like to see Coco Gauff against Alicia Parks tonight, but I don't think I'll be able to stay up too late for that.
No, I know what you mean. Because that's gonna. I think that will probably start about 4 a.m. UK time. Most likely, depending on how the match before goes. There's Sinner Baez. Yeah, she's straight after Sinner Baez.
So yeah, Sinner Baez, I reckon 4 sets to Baez, about 3 hours. Yeah, so about 4 a.m. Yeah.
That's what you come here for, ladies and gentlemen.
John's laughing in the background, but he knows I'm right.
The neutral. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yep.
Yeah.
The neutral analysis that you get on Talking Tennis, unbiased. Nick pulling for Iga, Bianca for Arena, and Jethro for Sebastian. and me to some extent today for Emma Raducanu. I don't always pull for her, but I was today. Can I just play a quick video clip and then you can watch it and then think, oh, I want to say something about that. It's about Emma Raducanu, actually, if that's all right. It was Mario and Damien chatting about her earlier. So let's just have a quick listen to what they had to say and we can react to that.
Talking about like very inconsistent players as her rivals, but they are delivering. They have been delivering so far. We'll see if Linda Noskova does the same. And I think from the women's, we have one more thing that we should cover, and this is also in the title of this show, and that's Emma Raducanu going out to Yafan Wong. I don't know if it's quite as big a story, but clearly John wanted us to mention it since she's in the title. Yeah. And Emma, I think after her match was talking about her having a stomach bug or something like that. So maybe the fitness issues that we saw, maybe it's not simply, playing a couple of matches, which basically happened to her in Auckland and also now again. But maybe it was also connected to that. But all in all, just what are your thoughts going forwards as well on Emma and the comeback so far, the 2 tournaments that she's played?
Yeah, I mean, I was not really expecting, let's say a semi-final run from here. Plus against, an opponent which can be dangerous. She had this kind of issue. It's also a hard time coming back. We are seeing it. I think that the judgment from about her must be also postponed a little bit. I was not expecting an extraordinary Australian Open campaign from her. So I guess that winning one match, fighting hard in another one, maybe reaching the second week could have been a big win for her. That didn't happen. She could have faced Qin Wen, would have been maybe an interesting match. But I think that she just has and we just have to wait until a little bit more to start making some kind of judgment about her and their and perspective for this new season.
Yeah, doesn't seem like that was a big deal, but just some sort of stomach issue, maybe also fatigue, but that's also something that can be handled. She got a lot of decent match practice in Australia. I do think that one round more would have been nice, like just get to the third round, lose to Qin Wen or win if she can, of course, why not? But lose to Qin Wen, that would be like a very realistic and acceptable result.
That's true.
Here, I mean, it's also not unacceptable, definitely not. Perhaps it's going to be slightly disappointing for her, but yeah, as you said, it's still early. I think she's still shown enough so far that she kind of makes you think that if she's going to be healthy for a year, she should be back up there and probably again, like in the top, whatever in the world. And
Bianca, are we positive after the last 10 days regarding Emma, or is it sort of same old, same old? Where are you on that line?
I feel like every time I watch her and she wins like 1-2 matches in a row, I'm like, yes, it's building, it's happening, and then we get the loss. I don't know. I feel somewhat the same about her. It's hard. I don't know. I feel like we just need another breakthrough performance, a semi somewhere, or a final somewhere, to really see how she's able to manage keeping that consistent win through a tournament. I mean, really and truly, she's only done it once. So
I'm a bit more optimistic. I probably would have said, like Damien did before the tournament, that sort of the sort of ticking the box, going as far as would be a plus, because concern would be third round. But I watched the match pretty much in its entirety. Emma kind of had it on her racket. She was the better player. The third set, she faded. I wasn't sure exactly what it was until I started seeing her struggling, and then she had her temperature checked, and she said afterwards that she was very tempted to retire. She wins that match if she's not unwell, which then gets her to a third round in Qin Wen Zheng. And I think the same questions or similar questions are there about Qin Wen as well. Maybe a little bit different because she tends to be quite fit these days. But no, I'm generally a bit more positive about it. This could have been a second week, and we're doing cartwheels. Well, I don't know about cartwheels, Jethro or Nick, but we'd try. Have you ever done a cartwheel, Nick?
No. Why would I try?
You've never done a cartwheel in your life? Yes, you have.
No. I don't.
Nick was a 40-year-old man when he came out the womb.
He's Benjamin Buttoning life. Okay.
I've never quite figured out the hand-eye coordination to do it.
Okay, next stream we're doing cartwheel lessons.
There we go.
Yes.
Cartwheels on tennis. Jethro, what about that on Emma? What I've said and also what Bianca said too.
Oh, I was so struggling to concentrate, John. You know, I love Mario so much. You know, he's just such a great bloke. I love listening to him talk about tennis. But no, I just agree with everything Bianca said, to be honest. It's hard to get excited when, you know, she hasn't had like a big run for a while. So, yeah, and like she's just come back from multiple surgeries. She was ill this week. I think she's doing fine, but yeah, like there's reasons to be positive for the future. But yeah, I'm just not going to get too excited until I see quite a genuine run when she's fully fit and healthy.
All right, cool. I guess, listen, I've been in and out of this show so far, so I might have missed out on you talking about the various upcoming matches. I'm sure you mentioned Badosa. I'm going to share the matches on the screen. Actually, I had a tweet from Nick, which probably has at least a good, I don't know, what's that, half the singles matches today, Nick?
Probably. I mean, like, they were the ones I would pick up. Say, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's about 10 matches on there. I
think Manarino Shelton is a good one.
Yeah.
Sinner Baez, I'd question that one to be on my matches of interest.
I think he did that for me, which I really appreciate. Thank you, Nick.
No, I genuinely believe that could be an interesting match. I think Sinner's not been tested yet, and Baez could provide that test. I regard, and this is for Jethro's benefit, I genuinely regard Baez as a really high quality player. Anyone who wins 3 250 titles in a year is worthy of note. Hey, look,
John has the biggest hate for anyone who wins 250. This is why John doesn't like Casper Ruud either.
I'm fine with Casper Ruud. It's my Sharif who I go for.
I hear you talk about Casper Ruud, and there's such disdain in your tone when you talk about him. Whenever someone's like, "Could he win a Grand Slam?" You're like, "No, he's never winning a Grand Slam."
I'm just giving you my opinion. I like the guy.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be in Estoril again this year, and I'll be enjoying him go all the way to the final, knocking over some of the legends of the Challenger Tour on the way. And, Liam Brody in the final. I mean, yeah, fine. But no, I like Casper Ruud. But anyway, I wouldn't have Sinner Baez on my watch list, but I definitely would have Anisimova and Badosa, obviously, and Manarino Shelton. Fritz Maroshan, yeah, I like the contrast there. Parks and Goff. I'm not convinced, by the way. Let's talk about this one because it's an easy one to squeeze in before Badosa and Anisimova get underway. I'm not convinced, Bianca, by some of the narrative that's been building in the last 48 hours that Etcheverry is going to make it tough for Djokovic. Discuss, Bianca.
I don't know. I hope he gets a set. I'm never going to bet against Novak Djokovic here, but I think there's a little bit too much admiration of Djokovic on Etcheverry's part. We know the sign thing that he's done where he's trying to get to where Djokovic is. So I don't know if he's going to be beating him here.
Is it a Casper Ruud, Rafa Nadal problem?
Yeah, I think so. There's just a bit too much love and respect there.
Yeah, that's easily enough.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, I think it's.
I still think he can trouble him enough because Etcheverry is a much better player than Popyrin. Like if Etcheverry played Popyrin, he'd win in 4, even in Australia easily. He'd beat Prismic in 3. So I think he's definitely the best player that Djokovic has faced so far. And also he's absolutely annihilated 2 legends of the game back to back. So he's clearly not scared of the older guys.
He's here to force some retirements.
I know Andy Murray fans don't want to hear it, but he absolutely took him to the cleaners.
Was that Etcheverry good or Murray bad?
I don't know, John. It was late. I was asleep, obviously. You know.
I tell you what. You know what? I tuned in for the first 3 points, and Murray lost all 3 on his serve. And I don't know what happened for the next couple of games, but then it was 2-2. So I still, to this day, because of what happened, I don't know if Murray got broken and then broke back, or he managed to hold serve from love 40. But then I watched bits of the first set, but I'm really struggling to stay awake at this point. It's about 5 a.m. where I am. And then I woke up and it was a pasting. It was a pasting. And I felt it was the most, in a way, you've had those de Minaur defeats last year, and Bautista, of course, in Australia, and Tsitsipas at Wimbledon. But this was a different kind of defeat and maybe more jarring, Nick.
Yeah, I think that this will probably go down as Murray's weakest ever Grand Slam performance in his entire career. He's only lost in the 3rd round 3 times. That was the 3rd time. And maybe the Wawrinka loss in 2020 at Roland Garros was a heavier scoreline, but it was Stan Wawrinka at Roland Garros. At whatever stage he was going to be significant. But yeah, straight sets loss in the 1st round of a Grand Slam final to Thomas Etcheverry, who, no offense, isn't the same caliber as Stan Wawrinka. Watch him win 3 Grand Slam titles will prove me wrong. I don't. Yeah, I think that's going to ring alarm bells for Andy Murray, to be honest. And he looked flat during that entire match. He didn't look particularly invested. And we'll see if it's last year on tour. But for me, it's going to depend on how motivated he is at Wimbledon. If he's flat at Wimbledon, he's done.
Yeah. Bianca, have you? There's a question about a couple of people were talking about Tsitsipas in the chat. Have you managed to see any of his matches?
Yeah, I watched the one. I only watched the one against Bergs, and he looks fine.
I thought Bergs kind of had him a bit at one point and let that vice-like grip go because I think physically it got a bit too much for the Belgian.
Yeah, I think his dad put on Twitter that he was struggling physically.
Yeah. Another unbiased.
That tweets a lot, actually.
He does, and to be honest with you, I think we follow each other,
sweet.
and we've had a couple of direct messages as well. But Zizou Bergs, of course, we've had Jamie interviewing him at Surbiton, I think it was last year, where he talked about his TikTok fame, among other things. Anyway, okay, Tsitsipas tick. Oh, well, actually, I will just add one more thing on Steph, which is the 2nd round win he had again. I think he lost the 1st set. Am I right? On that one, somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Thompson won 6-4 in the 1st set, I think. Yeah.
I think there are a couple of sort of banana skins.
I think
Thompson's really in amazing form, like in the last year.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a surprising result. 4 close sets. Well, 3 close sets. One of them was pretty one-sided, but that was a good match as well. And like Steph's still struggling with his back, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
I was actually watching Gil Gross earlier.
No, I still you're talking about the serve.
Yeah, something about the serve. He changed his serve stance
for the good.
And he just 2 days before the Australian Open started or something. He just thought, lots of people do this and they're good at serving, so I'll try it.
And for the good, it's reaping its rewards, because I think I've seen some other people saying that he seems to be serving well.
He went back
good
to
before.
Go on, Bianca.
He's got one of the best serves in the entire tour.
Like I didn't really think it needed to change. There was, I don't remember which tournament or match it was, but he made 40 first serves in a row.
That was against Thiem. Oh god, Madrid.
Yeah.
Why did you remind him of this? He's going to be listening for the next hour.
Tsitsipas really caused me a lot of pain last year, I can't lie.
Yeah. Mind you, I think it avoided popcorn civil war because Team Murray would have been in that Wimbledon fight in the 2nd round.
Yeah. That would have been funny though. I at least would have been like, okay, well, if Team loses to Murray at Wimbledon, that's okay. I'll accept that.
Yeah. To speak, we were just talking about Tsitsipas, however. His girlfriend's on court now. Paula Badosa is warming up with Amanda Anisimova. This will be the only Tsitsipas reference of the stream, at least whilst I'm on the stream. But yeah, I think we talked about this one a little bit, didn't we? It was like I said, I thought it could go either way. Yeah, Bianca, what do you think? Do you think anyone's got a particular edge in this one?
Not at all. I don't think I've watched an Anna Anisimova match in like a year, so I don't know what she looks like right now. We'll just see. After the first set, I can start making some predictions and assumptions.
I was kind of sort of holding back on her a little bit because she won her opening match in Auckland. I forget who she beat, and then was completely creamed by Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. And I was like, okay, maybe not quite there, but she's in a Grand Slam third round. So, and in Australia, where she's been,
she beat Samsonova first round.
Yeah, or Samsonova's not in particularly good form at the minute. I don't think.
She might be the streakiest player on the WTA tour, Samsonova. She's definitely she's definitely up there. I think she is. I mean, I remember when Jack was bigging her up about a year and a half ago, and then I started picking her to go far in all these tournaments, and she kept losing in the first round. I was like, Jack, what intel have you given me? Goodness me.
The Jack intel trick, yes.
Dreadful.
So the moral of the story is never bet on a player that Jack gives you a tip on.
Yeah, but then she had Podoroska in the second round, who is really only very good on clay. Big love to the Argentinian tennis players, though. Always.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to gauge.
Round one was Podoroska, like tangent here, but Podoroska versus Zidansek. Like that was the battle of two surprise French Open semi-finalists who haven't done very much since.
Yes.
Clearly Podoroska proving that she was better, like the better of the two. Because I think Podoroska's won a title maybe since, but without looking it up, stuff on the top of my head. So Zidansek. I was big. I was like, oh, maybe this is something player to watch in the future after that French Open semi-final. I was like, oh no, never mind.
What year was that she made the semi?
2021. She lost to Pavlyuchenkova, but she beat Zidansek beat Badosa in the quarters and Andreescu in round one, both in really, really tight matches.
Interesting. Oof.
So yeah, we're now players now underway on court. I have Love 15 on my screen with Badosa serving.
Hello, Jake. How you doing, mate? Yeah, Anisimova's already annihilating the ball. We love to see it.
Yeah, she's got some big ball striking here. That I think, obviously, we saw this Australian a couple of years ago where she had that absolutely brilliant third round match with Naomi Osaka. That went to a deciding tiebreak. That ended up being weirdly one of the matches of the year. That round 3 battle, but everyone was still kind of talking about it for the rest of it.
That was a really good match. What would you guys say has been the best match of the tournament, by the way?
Oh, it's Raducanu of Blinkova, no?
Oh, yeah. Easily, actually. Just for the tiebreak.
Yeah.
God, I wish I watched
it. I did really love Swiatek Collins, though. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I probably got, of those two matches, I got 4 of the 6 sets in. And of course, it was the third one. Imagine you watched the first set of Raducanu and Blinkova went, oh, this is no good. I'm turning over.
I don't know why you would do that because you the upset was brewing after the first.
Well, exactly, yeah, true. Because she was up a set and a break. She was up a break in both sets. May even been a break twice in the third set. Actually, did she serve for it twice?
Yeah, she served for it twice. I think she was up a break 3 times in the third set. But it was weird. Raducanu was only playing well when her back was against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same in the tiebreak. She was at kind of like 18 all. She'd hit this dreadful forehand about 3 meters long, and then down match point, she'd just smoke the most unbelievable forehand winner out of nowhere. It's just fascinating.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, this makes a great case for best of 3 matches. That these two are like the most exciting out of the day.
Don't get Damien in on this, or he'll be turning in his Polish grave.
Why did he just specify where his grave?
I don't know. I always feel I have to with that boy. He's in deepest, darkest Poland.
Are you suggesting that Damien's some kind of tennis vampire?
Yeah, okay, I'm okay with that. That does fit. That fits. That gets me out of a bit of a hole there, Nick. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's how he knows all the facts. He's been alive for all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, he does get things wrong, though, sometimes. So I had a little bit of a chat with him in my kitchen about a year ago, and it was about... I didn't just invite him over and have a chat in the kitchen, by the way. He was staying with me for a week. But we're having a chat about... who was that? Even the big serving Croatian guy, Karlovic,
yeah,
who he loves and adores. Exactly. And I said, yep, I was at his match when he knocked out Leighton Hewitt all those years ago. First, Wimbledon champ to go in the first one. And he goes, oh, yeah? I said, yeah. He says, what year was that then? It's like, Damien, are you suggesting that I'm inventing this story? What year? I said, 2003. And he went, no, 2002. And I went, Damien, I think you need to check your facts. He did check them. And then he sort of just went, well, anyway, Sebastian Baez. So,
because I know that. I knew that's 2003 as well.
Because he won it in 2002.
Leighton Hewitt fan myself. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I think that was my first ever live tennis match. Yeah, I think so. And
that wasn't one of the ones you fell asleep in, was it?
I've fallen asleep, I think, at 3 of the 4 slams. No, I think it was Bautista Djokovic, semi-final 2019, just before Nadal Federer. I'd done a night shift at work in Germany, came over, I think, by plane, because you can get the train to the UK from Germany, where I live. Anyway, and basically just done an all-nighter, basically, and just came straight over. Was so pumped for that day at Wimbledon that I hadn't slept a single lick. Took, I think, 4 cans of what were cold Fosters into the stadium. By the time I was on the 4th one, they were rather warm. And yes, I did drift through the 4th set, a bit like Bautista Agut did, actually, in a way.
Bianca, are you aware of John's reputation of sleeping at slams?
This is news to me.
I haven't heard this either.
It's on the much read website, talking-tennis.com, which is getting up to 12 or even 13 views per day, I'll have you know. And it's on my bio that I think I've slept at 3 of the 4 slams. Wimbledon 2019, as I just touched upon. Australian Open 2006. And it was actually through a thriller, Tommy Haas, Roger Federer, 5 sets. Djokovic. Federer goes up 2 sets to love. And then it gets back to 2 sets all. And during that 2 sets all period, when Tommy Haas was coming back, is when I had a little drifting off. But again, there was alcohol involved, red wine this time to blame, not me. Anyway, Badosa is broken for 2 love. But of course, everyone wants to know what's the other slam I slept at, which was the US Open 2016. Djokovic played a Polish guy in the first round, 4 sets. Phil Collins did a 3-song thing to inaugurate the roof beforehand. After the match, Djokovic does this little dance on the court and sings a bit of Phil Collins. And then there was a women's match afterwards. And now I'm drinking. What are those famous drinks at the US Open?
Honey juice.
Yeah, exactly. The honey juices, which Jamie Jubon's father was buying them. And him and I actually had snoozed off together. So at least on this occasion, I had a doubles partner. So that was nice.
So are there any plans to complete the career Grand Slam?
The career Grand Slam? Well, there is some debate. There's I don't know what the equivalent is of doping, but there's no, not that. Listen, what it is that Jamie alleges, again, he was by my side for Casper Ruud Holger Rune, a quarterfinal 2022, and he says he thought I snoozed it during that match too, but I question that. But I will have to get Jamie on here to finish off that debate. So that would be I'd love to sit here and say I've got the career Grand Slam. Andre Agassi, for example, ticking off all the surfaces and all the 4 slams. Something that Michael Stich, Boris Becker, Stefan Edberg, none of them have done it. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure is the answer.
You've got quite a longevity to your career. Your first one was 2006. Your second one was 2016. There's a 10-year gap between
2003. 2003 I stayed awake. Yeah, that was Karlovic. Hewitt, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. 2006, 2016, 2019,
2022 allegedly. That one has to be.
Nice.
I mean, not many sports people could say that over the 20-year career, ticking off various achievements at various different parts of the world. There we go. I guess I've got to clear up the Masters now. I mean, I'm attending one or two. I've been. I think maybe Madrid's the only one I've been to actually. I've been as a fan, as a spectator in Rome as well. But
you went to Paris as well, didn't you?
No, Paris Masters, no.
No, okay, I thought you had.
No.
So you've
been. Although Nick, to be fair, you corrected me on something about my own life 2 minutes ago, and you were right and I was wrong. So who knows? Maybe I did go to Paris Masters. I don't know. Oh, I did. Yeah, I did. Nick, by the way, is thinking to myself, oh, maybe he was fibbing when he said, no, I did. You're right. Rafa Nadal, Tommy Paul just over a year ago.
Yeah,
forgot about that.
In 2022, because I think we were talking to each other on stream from you were there.
Yeah.
You've been to 3 of the Masters.
Yeah, I thought it was one, but now it's 3.
Not fallen asleep at any of them yet, but that was there. You go. So clearly, my biography of John Silk is coming on nicely.
Yeah, just don't interview me, and you'll be fine.
Oh no, I'm just asking Jamie about everything.
Yeah, Jamie's good for that. Yeah, for sure. His memory's far better than mine. What's going on in the tennis? Somebody tell me, because actually I haven't been paying much attention. Paolo Badosa, right? It's a good thing, isn't it? Everyone's tuning in, talking tennis, right? And we're sleepwalking through it, basically. Badosa, somebody tell me something.
Anisimova has a great point.
Ah, okay.
It's actually quite good tennis so far, to be honest. I'm absolutely hitting the cover off the ball.
As you expect with these 2 players.
Oh, yeah. I think from what I've seen so far, Badosa, it looks like she's back in her kind of 21 Indian Wells. Aggression, big ball striking. Is in not necessarily in that kind of form, but she's in that kind of attacking mindset. I've seen so far.
This will be clipped in an hour and a half and put out as a short when she goes out and straight it.
Out of context, Jethro. Never a good thing.
I'm pretty sure we could probably go through a lot of your streams and put together a clip of out of context Jethro, and they would all be gone.
I would not come out of that looking good at all. To be honest.
I had this idea when I was out jogging. I have some of my best ideas at this point when I've got a clarity of mind that soon disappears with every beer that is consumed. But and I was thinking about getting some T-shirts done with Damien's face on it and saying it doesn't matter anyway, because this is like it was during the Dan Evans match last year. Dan Evans won a set against Carlos Alcaraz, and Jack is loving this match, and it was a really exciting match, but Damien was really curmudgeon about it, going, it doesn't mean anything, it doesn't matter that he's winning this set, Alcaraz is still winning the match, it's all irrelevant. and everyone in the chat is going, wow, did you see that point? And Jack is salivating and everyone is purring and loving it, and Damien's just going, it doesn't matter.
That's classic Damien. I remember we did our 2022 wrap up, and he was saying that he picked Medvedev to win the final against Nadal, and he was like, technically I was right, because he should have won the final because he was 2 sets to love up and had 3 break points. And John was like, well, he didn't win it, and he was like, yeah, but if you pick someone to win a match and they're that close to winning, were you wrong? I'm like, yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love the goalpost moving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hang on a second. We've got some news, Bianca, I think, to report.
What news?
The actual tennis match we're supposed to be watching.
Oh yes. Anisimova has broken back.
cutting edge tennis reaction here. Where you hear the news here first.
With a great backhand. I actually did watch that shot, but
Okay, cool. Don't worry, I didn't even tune in until 2 Love, so it's all good.
I would be watching tennis, but you're distracting me.
Sorry, Nick, you're right. So we all just say nothing and just have our faces of aghast as we watch the points.
That could be a new thing. Visual commentary. You have to work out what's going on in the match based on our facial expressions.
miming.
Damien did this on match point of the US Open final between Medvedev and Djokovic last year, when it was another point that was quite and Medvedev maybe could have and should have done something different, and Damien just went like this on that point, which basically summed up the previous 2 hours. I felt quite well.
Yeah, I did not enjoy that final.
It's awful.
I think I missed the first set anyway. I was watching the Rugby World Cup, and then I tuned in for the second set, and it was okay. It just wasn't very fun.
Yeah, I've seen some retrospective looking back on the. I think it was Gil Gross talking about actually the sort of point of the match, I guess, a point of significance anyway, where most observers at the point when it happened were like, why didn't Medvedev just go down the line instead of into the body? Gil Gross preferred to look at it as a positive for Novak, sort of anticipating what and reacting to what he thought Medvedev might do. But yeah, that was set point, I think. Second set, I would say. Question for you, Jethro, in the chat, by the way.
Could we just go up to the nice haircut, Jethro? Thank you very much, Jane. Really appreciate that. Very fresh today. Do I like rugby sevens?
That was the question I was referring to. I was like, "There's a question for you in the chat," and Jethro's like, "Yeah, I have had a nice haircut." It's true.
I thought I'd just bring a bit of light to that. Do I like sevens? I do. I don't really tend to watch a lot of it. I don't watch as much rugby as I used to now that my team doesn't exist anymore. Sad, but I'm very excited for the Six Nations.
Which team's that?
Wasps.
Wasps don't exist in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, we went into administration a couple of years ago. Well, about a year and a half ago.
I am massively out of the loop with rugby.
By the way, people out of context just tuning in think that wasps are now extinct. The buzzing animal. They're just tuning in. It's like, yep, they've gone. And they're like, oh,
yeah, the entire
species.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. The entire species has gone into administration.
Okay, I didn't realize
they've got no funding. They've got no more funding. They're done.
Yeah,
not a fan of wasps. Not a fan.
No,
I mean, I'm talking about the animal, not the rugby team.
I mean, the point of being a fan of the rugby team anymore, they don't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ashley said Jethro only knows heartbreak when it comes to sports. It's kind of true. I think Isabel said the same thing the other day, apparently.
You
must like the pain.
I mean, you weren't experiencing that much heartbreak during peak Rafa.
2020 was great. I had Rafa winning French Open. I had Thiem winning the US Open. I had Diego making the French Open semifinals and top 8. So I had a great 2020. Wasps made the Premiership final. So actually, 2020 was. I really should have savoured that year.
Lovely forehand down the line there from Badosa, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, we've got a break point for chance for Badosa to get that break back, and it's great rally going on here. Forehand Badosa. Oh yeah, that's the line you were talking about. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
What's the score on your screen?
3-1.
Bianca will be in some other.
Oh, I know. Bianca's way ahead. I'm not trying to do live comms. I just got excited.
Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. We're all at different stages. Unusually, I'm not the one who's behind. It's normally me who's sort of so far behind. I'm in a different.
I don't know what sort of futuristic stream I have, but I'm always so far ahead. I just
we know where you're getting it from, Bianca, and therefore you have to be. I mean, you can't be more cutting edge than a gambling website. Otherwise, the gambling websites will soon find out where that cutting edge is. But I watched Badosa against Pavlyuchenkova actually because I was quite keen to see Pavlyuchenkova go far, and I thought she could be not a danger in terms of winning the title, but I was looking forward to, I think Sabalenka might have been in her path to the fourth round. Yeah, exactly. And I did not see Badosa pulling that out in straights. I really didn't see that one coming at all.
Well, actually, yeah, the winner of this plays Sabalenka next, potentially, provided Tsurenko doesn't spring a surprise.
Do you mean provided Tsurenko doesn't finish the match, or... Look, I have a reputation for not being too mean for players, but unfortunately I did let that slip on one stream. So Bianca, for context, I made a few comments around Tsurenko's frequent retirements live on stream that has caused much hilarity amongst the team. It has, yes, including in the chat and all sorts. I actually have something that's only going to add to this myth or fact, whichever way you want to look at it, which was in Monastir when she was struggling in set 2 in particular, and in set 3. She didn't retire, but you were like, wow, this she's going to retire, and it just never happened. And then I saw her like 4 hours later in the canteen, laughing and joking and filling her face with about 7 different courses. And I was like, hang on a second, I thought you were basically sick earlier on, and she's fine. She was in fine fettle.
Is that basically the same kind of reaction that Irani had to Kiki Bertens being wheeled off in a wheelchair after beating her at Roland Garros?
I don't know this. Someone say that again. So what's the story here?
So, I mean, feel free for people to jump in and correct me wrong, but in 2020 Roland Garros, Bertens and Irani played each other. I think it went 3 sets, by which point Bertens finished the match. She won it, but she was in absolute tears, clearly a lot of pain, possibly cramping, I don't know, and had to be taken off in a wheelchair. Irani then said more or less like, oh, she's fine, I've seen her up and about later on, and actually Bertens ended up winning another match after that. So that's my vague recollection.
Why bother getting wheelchaired off court after winning a match if you're absolutely fine? That is, right. I've heard about faking injuries for like MTOs and stuff, but that's just so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you've won the match.
Maybe because it's so ridiculous, no one will ever suspect.
But yeah, so I didn't believe Irani originally when she said, "Oh, I've seen her, like she's absolutely fine." But then, of course, that was a second round match, and then Bertens won the third round. I think she retired and she ended her career shortly afterwards, but. There must have been something to it, but maybe her recovery just went really, really well.
It does sound like sour grapes from Irani, right? That's what we're all suggesting here, though, right?
Irani has a bit of a reputation for sour grapes, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I still don't know how she made a Grand Slam final.
No. Do you think that she was so embarrassed that she lost to someone who got wheelchaired off court that she made up that she was faking it? That's the only reasonable explanation.
I mean, possibly, yeah. To be fair, in that one, yes. I mean, it can't be. I mean, let's face it. Zverev's probably pretty embarrassed to be losing to a man experiencing incredible cramp in the US Open final.
Oh, crikey! Don't remind me of that. Well, I mean, because he won, but also that was the most stressful 4 hours of my entire life. I think Dominic Thiem on his worst day right now would still beat Thiem from that final, from the first 2.5 sets.
Wow,
that's how bad he was. Like, he was dreadful. Like, by this point, I'd probably watched nearly every Dominic Thiem match since the start of 2016, so I knew Thiem it very, very well as a player, and that's one of the worst matches I've ever seen him play. I can't believe he won it.
What's the best match you've ever seen Dominic Thiem play?
Probably Barcelona 2019 when he beat Rafa 4-4. I think that might be his best performance I've seen now. Maybe.
Were you here, Jeffo? Or maybe you weren't. Sorry to interrupt, but we had this exact conversation with Owen and I think Damien, so the three of us on the eve of the Rafa match a few weeks ago, and I said the Australian Open.
Yeah, I was about to mention that one as well. Actually, and there's Djokovic, the ATP final, both of them are up there as well. But I think, the way he comprehensively annihilated an informed Rafa and in Barcelona I think that's probably one of the best clay court performances in a best of 3 ever. Actually, if you go back and watch the extended highlights, it's insane. Yeah.
Sorry, I know my internet cut out, but I suggested the Australian Open quarterfinal of 2020 as team stress.
Yeah, it was a good one.
He was the better player for 4 sets in that. I mean, he lost one of them, but he was the better player. And he was also receiving serve. I mean, that Rafa was serving for the first set, but I don't know how that happened because Rafa wasn't playing at his level in the first set. But Dominic was just insane that day.
Mm-hmm.
Off both wins.
He was amazing for that whole tournament, really. Shame
Except
the final didn't go his way.
Just in the last couple of sets of the final, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. You could just... Yeah, that was a shame. He came the closest to beating Djokovic in recent years. So
at the AO, yeah.
I mean, other people have gone 5, like Taylor Fritz did with him, and and certainly he's gone 4 and stuff. But there was a sense that was there for Dominic that day, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But alas.
But he has a Grand Slam. He has that US Open.
We'll always have that, at least.
Yeah, just as well. Pity didn't do it in front of a crowd. Of course, it's not his fault, but
yeah. Do you know what? I was when I just watched a compilation that US Open have put up of every championship point from this century, and it was very odd, like watching Federer winning his 5 in a row, watching Rafa winning his 4, Novak. I think that video came out before the 2022 US Open, so it didn't have Carlos, but it had Daniil winning it in 2021 as the last one. And it was very weird, like seeing, like all those like Rafa, Novak, Andy winning theirs, and then it cuts to Thiem, and it's just one of the weirdest moments of almost silence.
Yeah, like you can even hear his racket dropping on the ground when he falls down in celebration. It's just like so depressing. I think that was one of the things that messed him up a bit, really, mentally, because he was mentally scarred for until he got that injury. He still wasn't himself before he got injured.
I mean, we keep saying this, but that ATP finals from 2020 was incredible.
Yeah,
true. It was more 21 onwards. Yeah,
best straight sets match of that particular year, from memory, that 7-6, 7-6 against Rafa. Another win on a hard court.
Always him and Rafa.
Yeah, but that was a great matchup. One-handed backhand and lefty righty combo. I don't remember anyone else that Rafa played with a one-handed backhand and a lefty-righty combo that was as enthralling as that. I can't think of anyone in history of tennis who might have won 20 Grand Slams.
No, well, he was just too good for Roger. So Thiem had to step up.
Yeah, that's right. I would agree with that. Yeah, it was a bit boring.
Sorry, Nick.
I kept saying it, and Nick was sort of looking, and I'm waiting. When's he going to clock that I'm teasing here? And is he?
I clocked it immediately, John.
Oh,
I'm choosing not to respond.
Poker face. Okay.
Bianca, where are you on the big 3 scale? Are you a fan of any of them? All of them?
I'm definitely a Nadal fan. Huge Nadal.
Nadal fan.
Taste.
A Nadal fan who has quite a lot of Serbian friends who that is a topic of contention with them. So
okay.
Yeah. I have a few Serbian friends, stroke acquaintances, and they all seem to go for Novak's wife. They say she's the problem. She's like she's some sort of Lady Macbeth kind of character. Yeah.
I've not heard that one.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
I mean, maybe these are Serbians in Serbia, and they may have a different strain in terms of Serbian media. And
are Djokovic fans as crazy in person as they're online? I doubt it.
Absolutely. I mean, the people I'm friends with, they're not tennis fans, but Djokovic is like their lord and savior. They worship him.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, Jack Draper will be the new lord and savior of the UK in a few years, I'm sure.
As much as Tim
Somebody
Henman was.
Bookmark that, save that clip right there, and revisit that.
Oh no.
Are you going big on Draper, Jethro? Are you liking is it the leftiness?
I do really like Draper. He's the Brit, like at least like ATP Brit that I've been most keen on since I can remember, to be honest, and that includes Murray, just because I really like his game and his kind of presence on court. Don't let Scott or Claire or Peter hear me say that, but yeah. I'm not saying he's going to be top 5. I don't know. We haven't seen his full upside yet, but
yeah, no, I wouldn't go as far as top 5,
yeah.
but top 20, I think, definitely. Top 10, maybe. I know he's just gone out, and maybe we should be on a downer, but it's there. There's always it's kind of every time you go. Now it'll get to a point that if we keep putting asterisks by his losses, that we'll eventually run out of asterisks that we're finding under the sofa. But yeah, I just think that there's like this loss he had this week. I think that he was struggling, of course, in the previous round, and that made me think. Otherwise, I'd have had him the favourite against Tommy Paul. But that what happened in the first round over 5 sets made me think, okay, he's not winning again. That's him done in Australia, and we'll look forward to seeing him on the European indoor hard courts. But I'm full of optimism. I think there is a top 10 for him if he can stay healthy throughout this year. I think he could get top 10 even.
I love this shout from Kian about Arthur Ferry, who I really like, actually. I saw him against Medvedev last year at Wimbledon, and I love watching him play. He's doing really well at challenges. So yeah, got some good Brits coming through. Also, I caught some of the first set with Paul and Draper, and Paul was playing ridiculous tennis. Like, he's actually playing very good so far.
He was out for revenge. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
You like Draper, Bianca?
Yeah, he's all right. I've actually watched both of his matches. I don't even know how I ended up seeing both of them, and he's good, as if he can keep it together and keep it uninjured. I find a lot of I say a lot, him and Raducanu, the British players are quite injured, quite young. I don't know what's going on in the LTA over there, but like having surgeries at this age.
I've wondered the same thing. Like, what kind of fitness regime are they giving their young players? Is it too much or too little?
Honestly, I don't know what the LTA are doing, but if you've got your 2 biggest up and coming stars, Draper and Raducanu, always hurt, always ill, in bad conditions, it's kind of on them. It's not a coincidence. In my opinion.
They've both got the same stomach bug.
Yeah, they've got this, and they've also shared the same wrists and knees and everything. Yeah. But then again, Evans hasn't really had injury troubles. Norrie didn't grow up in the UK, did he? So
no.
Well, what did he?
New Zealand.
No, he's born in Auckland. Yeah. So, and then he did college tennis, so he doesn't really qualify in the LTA kind of thing, I guess. But
go on, Dick. Go on.
I was going to say, you assume you'd have to have really good fitness to keep up with the ins and outs of playing college tennis.
Whoa, shot Anisimova.
Yeah, really nice one. Yeah, and this is a really topsy-turvy match that just makes you think a couple of holds is almost like a break at the moment, just because no one can seem to hold serve. So this could be interesting if Anisimova does hold on here at 40-30. She's loving some of these slices on both sides. Our streams, Jethro, I think are in sync.
Yeah.
But Bianca knows all.
Oh yeah.
Badosa doing the sarcastic thumbs up to her coach, just like Medvedev. The Eurosport commentator was very unimpressed with Medvedev this afternoon.
It was the Eurosport commentator.
Do you get the vibes? Do you get the vibes that when the players are doing that? Because this is the vibe I get. The vibe I'm getting is like for example, on that point, you told me to approach the net, and I wasn't sure about it because my backhand volleys are no good, and that's why I don't do that. Is that the vibe that you get when you're watching these players? When they're
maybe for a rational player, but I would just love to know what's going on in Medvedev's head when he's doing it. I don't think he knows what's going on in his head. He's just a bundle of chaos.
I'm wondering whether, it depends on what they're being shouted at. It could be the boxer shouting to the player, like, "Come on, you can do this," and they're giving sarcasm, like, "Yeah, right." They find play like that.
Yeah, that's quite funny. I could see that happening.
Depending on the player. I don't know. I would be a horrendous person to have a player box for. There would be a lot of back and forth.
Oh, I just want to chat.
Of course, time to name drop. I think Jack and I. By the way, that's not me name dropping Jack. I don't. I'm not quite at that level of reverence for Jack yet.
He's a big deal.
He's a big deal. He's a big deal. But that big deal was sat next to me at Wimbledon earlier this year, behind the box of Liam Brody. But let's say we were there courtesy of David Samuel at the very least, anyway. And Jack was drinking a bottle of red wine out of the bottle.
Nice.
While he was winning in 5 sets over Casper Ruud.
This is Liam Brody winning in 5 sets over Casper Ruud, not Jack.
Yeah, not Jack. Yeah, not Jack. Not yet. Anyway, whilst drinking a bottle of red wine, just to really troll Casper on grass.
So you said earlier, John. You said earlier this year. You know it's 24, right? It's not 23 anymore.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. You knew what I meant, Jethro. You're just trying to get revenge after that opening 5-minute salvo from me.
I don't think I'll ever get revenge for that brutal roast. And then they can have like 3 people comment saying, "Oh, what a surprise to see Jethro here." Completely didn't even hear what you had to say. Still saying it.
The kind of red Ashley says it's very important.
Probably the cheap kind.
I mean, yeah, it's Wimbledon. It's going to be pretending to be really nice, but it's pretty cost
the one
like
that gives you
£4
just
at a local
cranking
shop.
headache right after.
Yeah.
Just going through some of Jack's pictures on Twitter, I have no idea what this one's all about.
Why are you doing him like that? Yeehaw!
There you go. I was looking for the Casper Ruud Liam Brody match because I know it's somewhere on his Twitter feed. But yeah, there we go, Jack. Rocking the yeehaw, but it's in Glasgow, I think. I mean, he's actually been to the US last year, but albeit maybe not quite yeehaw country, but yeah.
Was it Indian Wells?
Yeah, Indian Wells, yeah, but it's not exactly cowboy country, is that I mean?
Yeah, that's more Texas, but still kind of Wild West in the actual geographical location.
Certainly closer to the Wild West than Glasgow is, anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jack, is he ever on Talking Tennis these days? I never see him saying
He was on
here.
Gospel Drops the other day.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
A couple of days ago, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's there.
Right.
And he responds.
Owen, Scott, are they on here all the time?
Owen was on at least 2 weeks ago because we were. He's been on more recent than that. I think he's been on during the Australian Open. We were chatting about a match.
One of the Eager matches, I think.
Yeah, I think it was the first one. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Bianca came on with the second one. Yeah, I think came on and did a little analysis there. So I think that's 72 hours. I think we got there. So keep going, Jethro. Keep trying.
Okay. I won't ask about anyone else. Don't worry.
You know. Yeah, I mean, you could say Liam Brody, and then you're in good shape because he hasn't been on since March.
Is he? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he's not he's not a member of the team, if you like. But
exactly.
But I mean, you could go Tony Nadal. He's not been on since April, and you keep going with this one, if you like. Rafa's never. Well, no, he's never been on. I have clipped a press conference question I posed to him, but that's not exactly friend of the show level.
The momentum in this match seems to be very much with Amanda Anisimova. She's a break-up 5-4, and yeah, seems to have won a few games on the bounce.
I said holding serve there at 4 would be big.
Some good rallies, but Badosa's getting a little frustrated, I think.
So there's just a lot of pace coming from Anisimova. It just seems like whoever gets the first big strike in is kind of in the driver's seat.
Keen, I think it's more recent than Jethro until today, I think. Aziz Dugas was on.
It was like mid-November I was last on.
That's right. And Aziz Dugas was on mid to late November.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it was actually October, but I'm just.
And also, if
you'd have said the 21st of November,
December.
If you'd have said the 21st of November, Aziz Dugas would have been on the 22nd. I'd have just.
And look, we can't include December. So realistically, it's been a month.
What do you mean you can't include December?
Because tennis stops in December, and therefore I stop.
Nick, did you come on in December?
About tennis in December.
I did. I did 3 episodes of the WTA Match of the Year series.
Was Miles on in December? Oh yeah, he was on.
He's at least one.
You see, the players might need a vacation from tennis, but I need a holiday from tennis in December as well. Let's not forget. It's a very long year for us.
Jethro needs a holiday
from cause you pain.
Jethro needs a holiday from talking tennis, even though he wasn't on since September. When he
November.
August it was. August. You came on with Jamie in August to talk about Korda against somebody.
Fucsovics. And we spent about 30 seconds talking about the match, and then we just talked about who our favourite players were from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Much like this stream, which was originally supposed to be Badosa versus Anisimova, but it has descended into the roast of Jethro, which I think you should change the title for, John, to be honest.
I think you'll get more viewers, to be honest.
We'll send it to your mates.
Oh, they'll love that.
Right, we got a big moment here. Let's get back to Anisimova. When she wraps this set up, we can talk about whatever. But we've got 30-15 on the American serve. Oh, nice one, Paula. But
that was a good that was a good forehand on the run. Oh, Ashley. She always is really mean to me as well. Can't get away from it.
It's just massive sibling energy with you two.
And you and Ashley as well, to be honest. But more of a nicer sibling vibe.
Although I kind of think of myself as the grandfather of the group.
At the ripe old age of what, 27?
No, I'm actually nearly 30, mate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Ooh.
Ancient.
Damien's birthday the other day. Everyone's getting old.
Yes.
You're a rock star.
Damien now? Damien's still quite young, though, isn't he?
What was that, Nick?
I said you're a rock star, Ashley, but the joke's passed.
Oh, okay, sorry. Damien just turned 25.
25, yeah. Oh, they're so cute at that age.
Damn, now I'm feeling...
Yeah, I'm 20. I'm 20. I turned 26 in October, and I'm still denying it. So, what about you?
Same, 26, but in June. So definitely not looking forward to that. Can't say I'm mid 20s anymore. That's late.
25 was fine. I was like, I can live with
25 wasn't fine. 24 was fine.
Yeah. 26 has not been good.
John's age shall forever remain a mystery.
I'm already doing math. If you were live in person at a match in 2003, I don't know.
That's actually Jordan came out with talking tennis.
I was an embryo.
Before YouTube
was invented. Yeah.
I was
an
embryo.
As soon as it's called YouTube.
I was a twink in the milkman's eye.
Ooh, and Badosa breaks back, you guys. This is
I've just seen the big forehand break.
Josh.
What, Jeff, are you reacting to my comment? Or good. That's good. I like these reactions. Bianca laughed at a couple of my jokes at the beginning of the show, and I was thinking, yep, she's one to stay. Anyone who laughs at my jokes is welcome.
That was really funny, to be fair. I can't lie.
By the way, I just looking at this earlier, I was looking at the average age of our audience, and we're, you guys are in your mid-20s and going, oh yeah, this was a big difference for me. But we actually have 21% of our audience is over 65, according to this screenshot I took today, at least in the last 28 days. So yeah, that's but that's not good for the stats. So what I do is I don't look at the last 28 days. I look at the last year, and then it comes down. Because when I'm making the application for media accreditation, I don't want to tell everyone that a large portion of my audience are over 65. I want them to be younger. So I look at a different category, and then they come down like 25 to 34, I think, is my top age category.
Yeah, apologies to anyone who is 65 or over hearing that.
Yeah, it's just about massaging. It's just
Please
about
like and
matter.
subscribe to this video. To this channel.
We appreciate the views. You're just not young enough for us.
You're just not good enough
Basically what
for
John's saying.
the application letter to get us media accreditation. But we do value you, we're just not in that moment.
John, I think our subscriber count's dropping.
Yeah, we're hemorrhaging. We're hemorrhaging subscribers right now. Yeah, reminds me. I'll see if I can get the old subscriber count up on the screen.
Oh yeah, we've definitely been. We're definitely a channel on the up. So if we've got a few viewers today, so if you are new, why don't you join our subscribers? Because there's more madness like this that happens pretty much every day during the Slam season on Talking Tennis. And obviously we've got. I believe we're doing a live stream with Djokovic versus Etcheverry tonight, right? Who's doing that one?
Someone.
Someone
No, we're doing it. We're doing it. Probably Damien, maybe me, depending on what state or form I'm in. Which I've been pretty good this week, but Saturday night was just a write-off for me. It was a real struggle for me to get. I mean, I wasn't on the stream at any point, which is a good thing. Let me tell you that, because if we're hemorrhaging viewers right now and subscribers, we would have just gone down to 0 on Saturday night if I'd have been anywhere near a camera. But yeah,
but was, John.
Yeah, I wonder. Saturday night in Rio.
I'm going to make it an educated guess. You had a very heavy Friday night.
No, it was the Saturday night that was heavy. No, Friday night was fine. It was Saturday night that was heavy, because this is when it's happening. You know, it's a good time to make a. You know, you've got a YouTube channel about tennis. Why not have a heavy night on the first night of the Grand Slam?
You know what else is heavy? Amanda Anisimovan's backhand, because she just thrashed one from near the net for a winner to break 6-5.
What a segue! What a segue there, Nick.
Unbelievable
I love it.
segue.
I would say that's why you're paying me, but you don't. So. That's why I do this for free, to keep you on track.
Oh, our subscriber count has joined the live stream.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice.
I think it's gone up by 3 since we started. I mean, it might have gone up 7 and then back down. I did a thing the other day for a laugh. I was like, if you really want to feel important out there, you can subscribe and then you'll see it go up. But I also said you can also manipulate this and just unsubscribe and see it go back down and then subscribe again. And yeah, that was fun for about 30 seconds anyway.
But it's great to have so many new people on board as well. On board for the ride for 2024. I'm sure there's going to be big things coming. This is definitely, our Australian Open coverage this year has been pretty comprehensive. I've been enjoying tuning into the videos whilst I'm working where I can. I'm like, I can listen to this in the background. We're doing well compared to live streams of John and Damien in John's kitchen last year.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I did enjoy tuning into those. Ooh.
Seeing 3 very tired men sat on the sofa with barely working microphones.
Yes.
I was also thinking in my wisdom when I was out jogging earlier, that this sort of half an hour as we lead into the day's play was quite similar to what I tried to do at Wimbledon this year. The only difference is we've got sound this time.
You're not in a coffee shop.
Yeah, I know, but the sound wasn't working. I had lovely people in the live chat, including Anastasia, saying, we can't hear a single thing you're saying. And they'd been saying it for about 10 minutes. We were live. And I did an interview with this Dutch journalist who I'd also had on the show about 6 months before. And he happened to be sort of passing by, and I collared him to come in and have a chat. And I've not had the courage to tell him. I hope he didn't go back and watch the video, because we had a good 10 minutes about Dutch players on the tour and stuff. And off he went to Wimbledon. Hopefully he had a far more important day ahead of him than to go back to that video and go, I wonder how that interview went. I hope the sound worked okay. Are you all right, Jethro? Was there a tremor in South London?
So, my knee knocked my desk, and I was like, oh God, that wasn't too loud.
Jethro,
I pushed my chair back.
Empty.
Yeah, I swing on my chair and smash my desk, and it bubbles like that.
Once fell out. Once fell out of bed because of some tremors.
God, that's going to be a really horrible joke.
No,
We're about to go into a tie break. We're about to go into a tie break.
Potentially, she's missed.
Yeah.
She's missed the return there.
The break is the new serve.
Yeah, this has been madness. Not bad service either.
Right.
Oh, well saved.
Nice. Yeah. We're about to go into a tie break, Nick. Right? That's what you said?
Is my stream in front of everyone else's?
I was trying to rescue the situation.
I know you were.
I've no idea. I know you guys are way ahead of me. I knew I could have been wrong.
I'm not in a tie break yet, and I'm definitely ahead. So
I said it when it was
not in a tie break.
50-40.
I know exactly where you are, Jethro, because you're with me.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at deuce.
Yeah, me too.
Interesting. Sorry. Anisimova going long on set point with the backhand. Whenever I stream with Jamie, he's always in front of me, like a good 30 seconds as well. So then he pauses it, and then over time, I end up going in front of him, and then I have to pause it.
And then do you pause it again? And before you know it, you're watching a 4-hour match, even though it was done in 2.5. Because you keep pausing.
Me and Jamie's streams are hilarious. We actually never talk about the match at all.
I know.
We're like obligated to say, break point for Sebastian Corda here. Oh, yeah, so Leighton Hewitt. God, he was a good player back in the day.
Great shot. Y'all will see shortly of a set point save.
From Badosa.
It's set point save from Badosa.
How many set points has she saved? Is it 3?
I want a tie break. I do. I mean, all tie breaks are just kind of irrelevant now after the one we saw.
Oh, my feet just cut out.
Oh, mine too. Oh, it's come back.
It's flashing the screen.
That's mine's flashing too. Jethro, are you really behind jarring. Me? I mean, it's like my
feed. It's like those horror
films. It's happening on Nick's now as well.
Those FaceTime horror films,
Yeah.
Was it unfriended? Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
I think it might be a problem with the feed in Australia.
I fell asleep during the Medvedev 5-set with Rusevori earlier, and I woke up and the match had finished, but my laptop was so hot.
Why keeps doing that?
12 hours,
I keep waking up for work and there's still tennis on and my laptop is like and just boiling. Like my whole bed is on fire because I haven't got my bed. Oh.
How are you two still alive?
That was a lame shot there from Anisimova on the
lame. That's harsh.
I mean, it was she was trying to do a sort of a forehand slice, but she could have just got a comfy forehand on it. If you're going to do a forehand slice, at least get it in.
And she's doubled. Don't know why I'm discussing it because I'm way behind everyone else. I'm not going to.
Yeah, you're about to see the forehand slice.
I've seen the forehand slice. She was doubled over after it.
All right.
Oh, Nick's caught up. Okay.
Yeah, well, I think we've stalled.
Yeah, did our feed cut out?
You're still like 5 or 10 seconds ahead of me.
I don't know what deuce I'm on, but Badosa just got saved by a let cord.
Yeah, you're ahead. I haven't seen this let cord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm at advantage.
I have no idea at this point.
I mean, yeah, tennis has kind of gained, but also lost all meaning after that tiebreak we saw earlier. I mean, these two could have like a 12-10.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got it now. Yeah, these two could have a 12-10 tiebreak today, and it'd be like, well, that's nothing really. It could be 16-14. Yeah. Manarino, Nadal, 2022. Well, it'd be like.
I was in the middle of it was like 20-all or something, and I was trying to type a very stupid, not funny tweet about how they were going to get to 30-all for real, and then
was it as funny as this? Was it as funny as this? Was it as funny as that?
I don't know. I tweeted so much
What about
last
this?
night
Is
this
it
morning.
is it as funny as that?
I don't know. I didn't write it out in full. The idea was there. It
Everyone
probably
stopped
wouldn't have been
laughing.
very funny.
Oh, hello. We've got a break point.
Hello. Good morning. Or good morning, I should say.
Very good.
Save with an ace.
Hi, Juan. Please do hit the subscribe button. And if you, oh wow, we just gained a subscriber. That might be Juan himself. I don't know. Jane loves carbs. Yes, indeed, I do too.
Oh,
Who doesn't? They're just.
That
was you six.
No one wants to win this.
No.
A bit like that tie break from yesterday. Or like most of the blink of a Raducanu match, it felt like no one, like both of them refusing to lose it.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah. You know what I do when I'm on my own in commentary, by the way? This is a classic line. I just reminded of what I just saw, and I go, 53 minutes on the clock. Because you see the clock every now and again, and it's just like, it's just something to say. You know, it's like Djokovic bouncing the ball. Here we go. Set point. Just past quarter past 10. Just past quarter past 10 in the evening local time. Because you see the clock behind them, you know, and you see the both the local time, but also how many minutes that are in the match.
You know, Djokovic v Cilic. Cilic is bouncing the ball. 10 minutes later, Cilic is still bouncing the ball. Djokovic is now bouncing the ball. 5 minutes later, he's still bouncing.
Is Cilic as bad as Djokovic for that? Is he?
I think he's worse actually. Djokovic has got it down a bit, and then you've got Cam Norrie's throwing his second serve ball toss up terribly, so he's gonna have to retake the throw, and he's done it again and again, and now he's hit second serve.
Shot from Badosa just now, and Anisimova was huddled over, gripping her stomach.
Yeah, she's been clutching her stomach a couple of times.
No, she looks like she's going through it.
Are we going to have another
neck bug?
What's in the water in Australia? How many stomach bugs are we going to have?
Yeah, right. And what's in these net cords for Paula Badosa? What's she got going on? She's got a funny relationship with the net cord at the moment. A good relationship, I'd say. Maybe even better than the one she has with Stefanos.
No, why is she cramping over like this? What's going on? Girl, it's been not even the first set.
Yeah, but
I mean, maybe it's like an abdominal issue. It doesn't look like she's being sick or anything.
That would make sense.
Someone is being called, maybe a physio.
Or some of the cramps, I don't know. Oh.
Okay,
yeah, she's in a lot of pain.
Ready to serve.
Oh, yeah.
It might have been like an ab strain.
That would be good because it's been a very, very good set.
Yeah.
Let's see her keep playing if she can.
Well, she's gonna need to win this set if she's gonna have a chance if she's in pain like this.
Yeah, you want it in a way. You sort of want juice number 8, I think. By the way, during that tie break earlier, they didn't show like how many minutes were on the clock or how many match points each player had. Oh, that's a lovely winner. Yeah,
that was beautiful.
I almost want her to win this set now, and then I think it could be interesting. The problem is if Badosa wins it, one way or another, it could get even more painful for Anisimova. Yeah, so in this tiebreak earlier, we got the reminder that it was 10 points, and it stayed on there throughout. So at like 15 all, there was a thing there going, you know, it's like this is a 10-point tiebreak. And I'm thinking, well, if we're at 15 all now, I don't think we're going to just sort of say, hang on, ladies, sorry, we've gone on about 8 points too many here.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could say the same thing about the 7-point tiebreak.
Yeah, but anyway, Hello.
Wow.
Good morning, Nick. Good morning.
What?
That's a hello reference, by the way.
Oh, okay.
To a British comedy that almost no one's seen. Doesn't matter.
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I was talking about it with my friend earlier.
Nick referenced it earlier.
Yeah. There you go.
Nick, you've seen the final point, Nick?
Yeah, I've just seen it, yeah.
All right, so now I can go, hey, 7-5, Anisimova. I just couldn't do that. Just wanted to wait, Nick. You see how polite I am?
Or you could just do that. I don't know.
I mean, I could.
I could. It doesn't matter.
I mean, Bianca could have done it 20 minutes ago, but she held.
I was thinking of you guys. I wanted you guys to see it.
Anisimova is not looking like she's enjoying life right now, even though she's won the first set.
I mean, but
listen. Out there.
Good news is, of course, she's got this huge advantage now in the match. Other good news is that if it's stomach buggy, it can pass. I remember Rafa against quarterfinal AO 2022 Canadian Shapovalov, and he got through that. Badosa's having a chat with, I guess, some people from her team.
Do you reckon Tsitsipas is going to join the box?
Is he there? No, right. When's he playing? He's playing after Sabalenka, isn't he? So he's probably prepping for his match.
Apostolos can join the box as well. I mean, he's just coach both of them at the same time.
Stand Apostolos. Annoying man.
Right. I think at this point I've hit my limit. I, unlike Jethro, cannot function on 2 hours sleep before work at work, and I also can't get away with sleeping in either because people do notice if I'm missing.
It mate, you just
people know
like
when I'm not at work.
People
notice I'm missing too because sort of the work product goes up. It's like, oh wow, we're getting things done here.
Just wake up at 9. Go on your phone on Slack, set yourself as active, and then just go back to sleep. I would never dream of doing that ever, but it's an idea.
Good thing. I mean, we're not live on the internet.
Yeah, good luck, Joe. I mean, it's a good job we're not live on the internet, and this is going to be out there forever, even after the end of humanity. The aliens can come and check out YouTube, and this will still be there. I mean, I know we've not got a million.
I'm sure this exact live stream is going to be the first thing the aliens.
That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go, hello, hang on a second, what's going on here? Oh, these guys need water to survive, do they? Oh, what's this? Oh, YouTube. What's this? Talking tennis? With just 5,300 subscribers.
You've gone very quickly from water to YouTube to talking tennis.
Water, electricity.
Can you imagine, the alien civilization just learns everything it needs to know about human society from talking tennis? It's going to be a very confusing experience for everyone involved.
A lot of boxes.
So apparently their biggest sport is something called tennis. We think it's some kind of fight to the death involving a ball.
All right, and what are humans doing? On that thing that we send out, out on a shuttle and never gets seen by any alien ever. That thing with the...
Yeah.
On that is all about the way we communicate, yeah? What's a common word in the most common language on the planet that we use to communicate? Like, what's this word that I need, beginning with T and rhyming with walking? Right, so there you go. You got the first part. Tennis, you just fixed the second part. We've already spoke about water, electricity, meaning plugs, meaning internet, meaning laptops, meaning YouTube channels, talking, tennis. You do the maths.
Okay. And on that note, I'm going to try and work it out whilst I get some sleep. Peace out.
Right. I would love to explain the scoring format of tennis to an alien. I think I'm sure by the time you're explaining tennis to them, they'll know that humans count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They should put.
So be like, oh yeah, so the games are 15 love, 30 love, 40 love game. Or
Where
40,
does the 15 love come from? Yeah.
No one knows.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Cinnamon Baez.
Sinner's already. Oh God, it's over. Sinner's already held serve.
Good start for Baez. He didn't get broke. He didn't get. Didn't lose that game to love. Good start.
Oh,
jeez. The bar is low.
At the end of the match, he's won 2 points. Okay, Yannick has won 4 right now, but it's 4-2. A scoring system. I mean,
I saw a stat that Yannick is the only seed that's not dropped a set yet. So
the only seed that's not dropped a set. Wow.
Yeah.
Question from Derek there. Are you
my
surprised
laptop
to see
is
Tsurenko agrees to play?
No, please. I'm trying to stream both matches. Oh, well.
Sorry, go on, Bianca, what were you saying?
Sabalenka declined to play against Sabalenka the last time? Or did she just withdraw?
There was something about that. That does ring a bell.
I think that was Indian Wells. Was it Indian Wells? Look this up. I'm not Damien. I need to Google things.
That does ring a bell, yeah, Indian Wells, but
89% win predictor for Sinner. I think that's really fair, to be honest.
Clever Cup.
I can't even pretend.
Great name, by the way, Clever Cup. I like that.
I'm using Discovery Plus.
I thought where you were watching
UK.
this, I thought the question was where
in the world.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
Maybe that is what he meant.
Yeah, maybe it is.
You ever see those questions where someone's like, "Oh, what's your favorite date?" Meaning like going to movies or something, and someone's like, "Oh, I like June 5th because it's sunny." But not.
I was thinking
you just did that kind of question.
I was intentionally thinking of the ambiguity. I must say that, but I was thinking like, this is going to be something about the dates that you eat. You know.
You took it a step further.
Like I prefer mine like 3 days old and a bit dry. But yeah,
we did mean streaming service. We're wrong.
I must say when I first saw it, I was like you, Bianca. I was like, okay, where in the world are you watching it from? When Jethro started his answer, I was like, yeah, he probably does mean how are we tuning in. So I'm on Discovery / Eurosport, which I don't understand what it means because it says Eurosport in the corner of my screen. As far as I'm aware, I pay Eurosport. However, the web address is Discovery Plus. So I don't have a
Well, Discovery Plus is and Eurosport and BT Sport combined kind of summer last year. Okay. So now BT Sport is TNT Sports, but you need Discovery to watch TNT. Discovery also has Eurosport. So technically, using Discovery, I can watch the Australian Open, the French Open, Premier League football, Premiership rugby, European rugby. I can watch pretty much any sport on there now.
Jethro, you had me until you said so, which was right at the beginning of the sentence, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm on TSN, which is Canada's sports ESPN thing. It's pretty good. There's basically everything on here. I only use it for tennis though, so I'm paying a lot for really one sport.
I thought it was a gambling website. Was that for the non-slams, is it, Bianca?
Yeah, I was only using it because I never had this before. Like it came with my TV provider and then I switched over. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to get it until the slams start again. So I was just using like Bet365 until then. Because why would I be paying for a month of streaming in December when tennis is not happening?
Especially when you can watch classic episodes of Talking Tennis, talking about match of the year. Why would you do that? Of course, yeah, makes sense. Where we have legends of tennis journalism like Steve Blink and others.
I thought you were going to start naming Talking Tennis people, then you actually did name a proper journalist.
Steve Blink, yeah, proper journalist. We have proper journalists on it sometimes, Jethro.
I thought you were going to be like Jethro.
Yeah, no, Steve Flink, and then I was like, yeah, lists ends. You know, it's one of those sort of joke. Proper journalist to appear on Talking Tennis. Steve Flink, list ends. He's coming on again in about 10 days. We'll do a men's preview final. Men's final preview. Nice. You know what I mean. Yeah. That guy
upset brewing in the Sinner Baez match, by the way. Sinner has a break point. No one saw this coming. This is crazy.
Yeah, upset brewing. Yeah.
Some nice rallies, though.
Gosh, I see the Carota boys there. I mean, where's the application for a Carota girl? Like, when can I just follow them around the world and watching tennis? Like, the best setup.
That would be awesome. Okay, the line system's rigged. That was definitely out from Sinner. Ostapenko was right. Oh, don't say that. The commentator just said, "Oh, you've got to wonder how Baez is going to make any inroads." It's only 2 games in.
By the way, Bianca, feel free if you want to watch Tsurenko Sabalenka. I mean, it really doesn't matter.
No, I'm pretty confident that I can just tune into that and see 6-1, 6-2 later on.
Yeah, she's love 30 already on the Tsurenko serve. One loves and love 30.
Well, I have my multi-screen, so I've got Badosa first, and then this side I have Baez, Sinner, and Sabalenka, Tsurenko there. Just no volume on them.
So Makac is a break up in a second against Khachanov.
Oh, Mashak is up. Okay, because first set was Khachanov though, right?
Yeah, I heard a stat about his win over Tiafoe that was quite amazing. 46% of the points he won were his winners in the whole match, and only 10 of them were aces.
There was a question, by the way,
That's
from Keane.
Extraordinary.
There was a couple of things from Keane earlier, actually, that spring to mind. That he was talking about Mashak, and Damien was purring over his performance for 2.5 sets, albeit I think Tiafoe had a chance of serving out the third and didn't take it. But there was another thing that Keane asked about in the chat, and I hope he's still here, which is that he was talking about Ryan Peniston. I do think that there's a ceiling for Ryan, and it's probably quite far down the food chain, if you like. We'll see a couple of wins at Wimbledon, and that would be nice. I just don't know if we're going to be
Queens, maybe.
Yeah. I just don't know if we're going to be, talking about him as often as we are Jack Draper. Put it that way.
Yeah, that's fair. I like Pedersen though. He's a good guy.
I like Paul Jubb. I want to see him healthy and firing and stuff.
Yeah, I think he's fit again. He's coming back up, I think.
Oh, did anyone see the Jen Brady tweet today, by the way?
I saw something long, but I was like, I don't feel like reading that right now.
Yeah, but I was really feeling the worst because it was like, I haven't spoken to you guys for a while, and here goes, and you weren't, oh, hello. But
what was it?
It was just basically, I'm injured again. It was quite a nice thing, but I'll see you again in a few months. But I've got lots of things going on, but I think it's a knee surgery she's having. So a few months again away from being back, but being back on the tour. I think she mentioned how much she still loves the sport. That was quite important as I was reading it, and it was disappointing, but I did fear the worst when I started reading it, if you like.
But she said she's going to do some women's college tennis coaching, isn't she? Which is really cool.
Exactly. That was a really important element to that message. Yeah. Yes. I mean, I was kind of focused on, is this it? And then fortunately it doesn't seem like it is, which is good. And then there was the injury in the timeline as well. But yeah, about some coaching too. And actually in the midst of that, I love tennis still. Oh, Sabalenka's broken, by the way, if you didn't know already, Bianca.
That took long.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Oh, come on.
Tsurenko,
Sebastian. That is world class.
Tsurenko medical timeout incoming.
Thoughts on more men wearing purple kits? They just look so good.
I mean, I'd have to say, I think it's case by case. It's case
by case.
Yeah, it's case by case. The one that Rafa wore.
Baez looks amazing in his kit.
Fine,
I think
I'll have to check it out.
and O'Connell look decent as well. It's the Le Coq Sportif one. It's really
Rafa's
nice.
wore a couple of variations, and one was cool, Cincinnati, when he played one match and lost to Tommy Paul. But he also wore another one, which I didn't like, during the clay court sort of pre-French Open season of 2021.
Well, the purple is definitely better than what Yannick has on. I don't like this mauvey color that Nike has some of them in.
Yeah, Rafa's has some good purple kits.
Well, like I said, I'm kind of maybe on my own regarding this one that I'm not a fan of, but because I heard one or two people say they like it, but I wasn't a fan. I'm not going to check out Sebastian's anyway.
It's so good, John. Honestly, he looks so cool.
All right. Give me a second. I've got one hand. I'm typing and I'm slow.
Oh,
hang on a second. Is Baez down a break already?
Yes.
all these unbelievable things. I was thinking, well, was he a break up or something? The way.
Well, no, he had a chance to get it back, but Yannick
he had 2
spurted
break
up.
points, which he set up break point with an amazing defensive point, but he's went long on a forehand, which he had a good chance to put away.
It does look good. It does look good. It's loose, which is maybe fine. But is that Sebastian making that look good? Put it out there.
I think it looks good on him. Yeah, it looks better on him than it did O'Connell and Lehetcher because they're paler than him.
Facts.
Good shot for. Ooh. Oh, sorry. That's a brilliant point. He's so fun to watch, Baez. I wish he won more matches, honestly.
You think if he was taller, he would be winning more?
Yeah, I mean, his forehand's outrageously good, even for his height. Not even for his height, just in general. It's an amazing forehand.
I feel like when people describe him, they're making him seem like he's like 5'1". Is he like 5'7"?
So I say he's the same height as Diego. I think like exact same height. But he's such a different player. He's super aggressive.
Terry agrees with Bianca regarding Sinner and his outfit.
Yeah, I know. Sinner's kit's horrible.
The actual worst one of the Nike guys is Taylor Fritz. He's got one that has like a collared shirt zip thing. I'm just like, Morgan, tell him to take that off.
Yeah, she must be disgusted.
Oh, I'm seeing it. The Sinner one now. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea.
Crap.
But then they have some good kits for the women, like obviously Sabalenka's red one. But my favorite one so far has been the one Emma's been wearing, that yellow one.
Yeah, the yellow one. I agree. Yeah. Nike have sort of tended to do sort of an Aussie sort of theme. I remember Rafa wearing a sort of yellow and grey number in 2019, and they sort of like to go towards the sort of a nod towards Australia and yellow and all that. But yeah, this Yannick one is not my cup of tea.
No, it looks rubbish, to be honest.
I'm just reading Ghost's comment. I mean, how do you come up with some of these things?
Oh, honestly, it's constant. If I'm ever just giggling, it's because he's written something quite rude and I can't repeat it on screen, but it makes me laugh.
When he's in a good mood, there's very few better than Ghosty.
Oh.
Oh, Derek adding an inch here to Derek's height. Derek's adding an inch to Diego's height here, perhaps.
He's definitely 5'7".
By the way, this is for you, Jethro. What's happened to Schwartzman?
No, I didn't want to have to answer this. I feel like every time I come on here, I have to talk about him. What happened to him? Well, I think it's been it was like a gradual decline since the 2020 French Open semi-final. I think I remember him saying it was quite hard to like set new goals because he didn't really know what was possible anymore because he did so much better than he ever thought. And then I think confidence kept dropping because he started losing more often. And then 22, after that loss to Djokovic at the French, things just really, really plummeted. And then 23 was dreadful. But then Shanghai, like, because he just had no confidence and is just, I don't know, he just seemed to be hesitating a lot. Didn't really know.
Damien said he should have played some challenges last year.
He like team played challenges. I don't know why Schwartzman didn't. In a way, I've a feeling he might be too proud to go back to playing them after grinding for so many years to get to the main tour.
If Andy Murray can go back to playing challengers, anybody can. Like
exactly. And so yeah, his confidence is just all over the place. Really, I was really disappointed he didn't qualify for Australian Open. Lost first round to Dennis Kudla, which in 2024 is a crap result. No offense to Dennis. But he's got the Golden Swing coming up. He'll be playing there, so who knows?
Golden Swing, Jethro. Golden Swing. I'm glad you mentioned that because
I love the Golden Swing.
Well, you might be even more loving it or more jealous if one person from Talking Tennis ends up going to one or both tournaments.
Are you going to Rio?
I hope so. Put it that way. Let's see. We'll see. You know, depends on whether they like the fact that I mentioned we've got a young audience, 25 to 34 category, etc. I'm applying for both Buenos Aires and Rio. The Buenos Aires application, very curious. There's like a password and an email, a password and a what's the word, username you got to enter. And I was like, well, I don't have a password or a username. But also on the website, it says use this password and username to enter our application. I'm thinking, well, what's the point in having a password and username when you're just saying, here's the password and username? Does that make any sense to you? It's just weird. It's such a weird application. Anyway, that's Argentina Open. I've just slagged them off for the last 5 minutes. So that's me done with that application. They're going to reject that one for sure. Next stop, Rio rejection.
If you do get Buenos Aires, I want to go as well. My mate's living out there in the minute, so any excuse.
If only there were some decent Argentinian tennis players. So that's the trouble.
I mean, even if you're gonna take a massive dump on my favorite players, you've still got Etcheverry and Tsirenko doing very well. Actually, Tsirenko lost this morning, but
I'm closing the poll.
Also, Derek, I think Diego can get back to the top 20. I love the optimism. I'm going to agree.
Diego top 20, someone's saying.
Yeah, I did say top 30 last year. He could get back, but I think top 20 would be a stretch. But
I mean, every single year on clay, and I'm still not sure it would be.
At this point, top 50 would be a dream, to be honest, for him and team.
I'm flipping through this Sinner and Sabalenka match, and their scores are just mirroring each other right now. I'm like watching the same thing.
God, Sinner's so good, man.
Yeah.
There's no shame in what's this, round 3? Round 3, isn't it?
To be fair, Baez, who was so dreadful on hard courts, he did not win a match, barely won a match. He could only win on clay. But last 2 hard court majors, make the 3rd round twice. I think that's really, really good. To be fair. So even if he loses 6-love, I think he's still doing really well.
You mentioned 3 titles last year. I know at least one was on a hard court. Was it 2 though? Or?
No, it was Winston-Salem, which I didn't see coming.
Just Winston-Salem, so it wasn't another one.
No, and then he won Kitzbühel and Cordoba.
Okay.
Oh, referee, that was in. What's happening with Badosa and Anisimova? Sorry, my attention has switched.
But I'm. Oh no, Anisimova's
break points.
Wow. Sorry, I was just.
And she's got it.
What are you behind? Michael, you behind me? Maybe.
Am I?
Maybe I saw the
4-3.
Yeah, 4-3. 4-3. Yeah. 4-3 with a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that a few seconds ago.
Huh.
Ahead of you. I'm busy creating another very witty thing online, but this time in poll form. And I don't mean Damien.
Oh, someone on Twitter, John, because I mentioned 21 Badosa. Someone actually tweeted saying, I think we have 2021 Badosa back, and then replied 15 minutes later, we don't have 2021 Badosa back.
Someone on Twitter is responding to our commentary.
No, they did their own one.
Ah.
It was just someone, yeah. Oh, Sebastian. Oh, well, at the end of the day, he looks better than Sinner does in his kit, so I'm taking that. Doesn't really matter.
It should do at the
Who
end.
cares who wins this match?
6-1, 6-2, 5-3 in the 3rd set. They should go, well, let's decide. Let the crowd decide who's going to win on the basis of their kits.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I will say, if this Sinner faces Djokovic in rounds 1 or 2, he wins in straight sets easily. But get to the semi-final stage, I don't think Djokovic is going to be anywhere near as bad as he has been.
Yeah, that's the problem, yeah.
The less is silver below. That is harsh, but it's true.
Got a poll out there. Can you see the poll on the screen, people?
Oh my god.
I put unknown in.
When I met him, we were the same height.
Do you think he might have shrunk or grown since then, Jethro?
No, I don't think me and him have changed height, given that we're both past the age of 25.
I put unknown
as much as being taller would be lovely. I
put an unknown in as a reference to that game you play with the cards, which in the UK we used to call top trumps. You'd have like I've got Hulk and you've got Iceman or whatever, and I'd have all these different. You know what I mean?
Wait, did you say top trumps, or did you just mean to say top trumps?
They're called top. I think I said top trumps. I might have said tip beforehand, but that's because I've had a beer.
Tip top trumps.
No,
is that a new version of top trumps?
No, just top trumps. Anyway, you know this game.
That was a great game. Yeah.
And you'd always have unknown on there. That's why I thought of that as I wrote unknown. I was thinking of top because I wasn't sure what to put as the fourth category, and I was thinking I'll put unknown as a sort of a donning my cap to that card game that maybe no one in the chat has a single clue what we're talking about. But that was basically a draw, and you had to go to the next card. So if you had Hulk, who was basically winning in just about every category except, I don't know, brain cells or something, and we just don't know how many. Yeah, or speed, but also I could be like stronger than you and heavier. Weight was definitely one of those. So it'd be like, I'm like, I don't know, 300 kilos or whatever, and you say, oh, my weight's unknown. Oh, and then it would be like, okay, we go to the next card, and I've got some pathetic guy who like weighs about 65 kilos. I've got Sebastian Baez in my next one, and you've got John Isner, and I'm like, oh, okay, height, and I'm done.
6'10".
Yeah. Unless you've got unknown.
Yeah, like I remember I used to play Star Wars Top Trumps a lot. That was good fun. Yoda was always the GOAT.
Bianca has no idea what we're talking about.
It's your blank.
Yeah. She's also thinking I'm here to watch tennis, by the way, people.
Well, the poll is stuck between 5'6" and 5'7". Height is very
a bit like Diego, maybe. Maybe that's where he's at. Maybe he's stuck between the two.
He could be all three, because the way I feel like I'm a taller girl, but I've been told I'm all sorts of heights, depending on if I'm like measuring up against a guy, depending on what height he says he is, my height is changing. Like if I'm 5'8" and he says he's also 5'8", but I'm taller, now I'm 5'10". So
I went on a date once. Jethro, and I thought the date went well. This is a true story, by the way. We went jogging. It was our first date jogging. How about that? I thought the chemistry was pretty good. We were chatting, random things whilst jogging. It was pretty cool. And at the end of it, I was like, so shall we do this again? And she's like, what do you mean jogging? I was like, well, yeah, or a beer or whatever. And she's like, no, you're too short. I was like,
oh my god.
Yeah. And I'm not Sebastian Baez or I'm like 5'9". But yeah, that was that jogging date. Yeah, Ghosty. Yeah, it was in.
The first time I met Nick, I
thought he's this cold choice, by the way, cold choice. Because I thought it was like okay. I mean, it was in Germany, so I guess it was cold, but maybe bold too. But yeah, there we go. Never saw her again. She drove me home though, which is a bonus.
That is nice. So passenger princess.
I mean, because I think she picked me up as well. It was a Sunday morning too. My memory's pretty clear on this. With very few things that my memory's clear on, but I remember this.
Yeah, this is really
She picked you up. You guys went jogging. She told you were too short, and then she dropped you home.
Yeah, she dropped me home. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That sounds horrendous.
I don't know. Horrendous is you're too short, and I go, what about a lift home? And she says no. That's horrendous. You know, I mean, I've been like, oh, I get the bus. Oh, talking of horrendous, Jethro, do you want to give us an update on what's going on with Yannick?
Your score was actually faster than my stream.
Yeah,
but it's 2 set points for Sinner. And it seems like he just hits a winner every single time he touches the ball. He's just destroying it.
Got some match points for Anisimova.
Not that it's the same story as yours at all, John, but I do remember last year at Wimbledon when I met Nick in person for the first time. And the first thing he said to me was, well, you weren't kidding when you said you were short. Yeah, it's like thousands of people around me. I'm like, cheers, Nick, you just violated me. I never even met you in person.
We've got some match points here for Anisimova. She's not won the first one, I think. She had 3 at one point, but it's now still 2 match points.
Far ahead of me now, John. I'm only at love 15.
Yeah, but my stream has just stopped.
Oh.
So you might end up beating me to it.
Goodness me, I'm not happy with a 6-love set. That's really sad.
Oh, Sabalenka won the set 6-love as well.
The 6-love
Shocker.
buddies.
Yeah. I guess Sinner and
Sabalenka
are kind of similar in a way.
If you really want Sabalenka to win this title, and I like Arena, by the way, but I'm kind of more interested in having an amazing tournament. But surely, if you really got vested interest in Arena winning the tournament, Bianca, an eager departure from the tournament along with Elena would be good news, right? At some point, if it happens.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about departing from the tournament. That is what Paola Badosa is doing now. She's throwing some towels into the crowd as she loses in straight sets. And bearing in mind...
That's an impressive result.
Still only at 40.
Oh, sorry. The physical ailments.
Oh, but yes, watched it. She's out.
Yeah. That Anisimova was having at the end of the first set. Wow, that's impressive.
So Anisimova will play Sabalenka next,
or Tsurenko.
Wow. Let's not bother. Let's just not bother entertaining that. Okay, that's like saying Sebastian Baez is going to win this match, John. We both know what's going to happen, all right?
Who does the winner of Sinner or Baez play?
2:45.
Yeah, okay, it's quarter to 11 where I am.
4th round, Sinner will play.
Potentially, Sinner or Baez, yeah.
Yeah, Sebastian Baez will play.
Sebastian Baez. I think he's morphed into a tool from the toolbox.
He could use some tools right now.
Who was it? Oh, was it Tsitsipas said Rublev had no weapons?
Yeah. That was so
No, he said he did very well with the limited
Mind you, this was
tools.
after he had just been beaten by him. So, like, what are you talking about? Why'd you lose to him then?
He said he said he did very well with the limited tools he has at his disposal or something like that, which was so catty and unnecessary.
I once posted on Twitter when Nick Kyrgios and Djokovic didn't get on that well. Remember those heady days when life was much better? I liked it when they didn't like each other. But I remember Nick Kyrgios called Djokovic a tool. And I was like, I want if Djokovic. I think I put a poll on Twitter. If Djokovic was a tool, which tool would he be? And I put up various options out there, but I can't remember which one won. Anyway, I tell you who has won. Anisimova is into the next round.
I'll tell you my favorite Nick Kyrgios beef was Scott Barkley.
Yeah.
Oh, that was recently.
Absolutely amazing. Scott just absolutely rinses him every week, and Kyrgios' comebacks are so bad.
Yeah, because Scott is funny and witty and smart.
No, Kyrgios has no chat. He's used to like everyone kissing up to him. So if someone doesn't agree, someone like has a go at him, he just gets all defensive.
But let's listen. I love Scott, and I hope Scott is going to be on tomorrow night. Actually, little insight into who's coming on tomorrow night. But did Casper Ruud respond to Scott as well earlier, or sometime last year in in a press conference. He didn't mention Scott by name, but he was talking about people on Twitter, and it was 24 hours. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jethro?
I remember.
I do. I didn't think it was a direct reference to Scott.
No, and if they ever met each other, I think they'd both realize, or I think they both. I mean, I think Casper would realize that Scott's a gentle, funny guy. But there was
he's an absolute wind-up merchant, is Scott.
Oh, I love it.
It's so funny.
He's so funny.
Well, there was another one the other day. One of the accounts I follow. It was like because like Popyrin taking a set of Djokovic, Prismic taking a set of Djokovic, and like it was like a screenshot of a tweet Kyrgios had made about him, like replying to a tweet a couple of years ago that involved Prismic, Popyrin, and someone else, and he was like, "Lol, Kyrgios is commentating and basically retired from tennis. Well, these two guys he's never heard of are both taking a set of Djokovic this week." And Kyrgios searched his own name while commentating on Eurosport. Found that tweet, replied to it saying, "Obviously, I know Poppy ruined you, Goose." And then the guy quote tweeted him, and he was just like, "Yeah," he was like, "At Eurosport, your employee is looking up his name on Twitter."
Yeah, but I didn't mind.
So
like, I didn't mind. Like, sometimes with Nick, I think there's can be a bit of nastiness, not so much towards Scott, but some other. But I didn't mind that. I thought that was okay. Hey, you Goose. I thought it was quite amusing.
Oh no, I thought the whole exchange was really funny.
Yeah.
But I must say I do always switch to ambient sound when I hear him commentating because I'm just so sick of hearing his voice.
Mm-hmm.
So the draw, Hunter Krejcikova is playing as well. I mean, Krejcikova, who doesn't seem to have had a great 12 months. Could find herself in the fourth round because I think she should beat Hunter.
Okay, 30 love. Come on, Sebastian. 2 points away from the first game.
Who's going to get a game first, Baez or Tsurenko? But I think it's Baez.
Good question. And what's the score in the
Baez? If Tsurenko wins a game before you, I'm gonna be really upset.
It's too late for a poll. I was going to put a poll up, but it's too
Come
late
on, 40 love.
Do you know I want Sinner to win this game so I can put that poll up. Who's winning the game first, Baez or Tsurenko?
Baez has switched t-shirts, so it was purple with a maroon.
Oh, you can probably still
underbit.
Put the poll up.
Now it's maroon with a purple underbit.
If Baez blows this 40 love lead.
Oh, I've seen him do it a million times. I wouldn't be surprised.
Lead and blew it just now, so anything.
Every single one of my favorite players loves blowing a lead from 40 love or 40-15.
Who blew one? Sorry, who blew a lead like that, Bianca?
Tsurenko. She had 40-15, and then now it's 2 love.
I need to ignore the score. I've seen it, but I want to celebrate it in real time.
I don't always use the tennis or tnns.com, but I do occasionally. Mainly if we're not commentating on a match, I might share it. Or if Bianca has got her betting stream or Damien, I don't even know. Damien is so secretive about where he's getting his stuff from because, he's got all sorts of... I never contact Damien and say, by the way, Damien, can you commentate on this 125?
Crowd's going mad for Baez.
Yeah, there you go, because he's off the mark. Yeah.
Oh, the pity cheers.
Let's go. Here he comes. Well, the thing is, if this was a WTA match, obviously... It's set 2, so he's one set away from losing. Whereas here it's more like, okay, he's in the match-ish now.
I don't know
he's got 2 more sets.
I don't know about your levels at tennis, either of you, but are you winning a point against a professional, Bianca? Are you going to get a point off? Anyone.
I think I could get a game off of Sabalenka. This is
a game.
This is how the game would go. She would double fault 3 times.
She's not nervous playing you, though. She's not. This is not a semi-final of a slam. I don't think.
She would double fault 3 times, then second serve on the last point, and then hit a wild miss. That's how I get the game.
I don't think I could return Sabalenka's second serve. I honestly don't think I could get a single ground stroke back of a top 1,000 player. Actually, maybe it's because I haven't played tennis for like 2 years, so I really, really need to get back on the court. But
I have a bit of confidence in myself. I play quite a fair bit, so I could at least block it back in.
I feel like people who like are like, oh yeah, I could probably return Schwartzman's serve or like Gaston serve. I'm like, no, you couldn't. Not as a casual player, you wouldn't get near it. Like it's still like 110 miles an hour. Like
it's ridiculous. Even like even the fact that I used to play, like I stopped playing tennis seriously when I was like 16. Now it's like completely gone. And my brother's really close friend, he plays college tennis, and I play with him sometimes. I can't even get a touch on his serve. It's crazy, and he's at the college level.
I'd love to do a series where it's just me and a super tiebreak against various professionals. So that way, of course, you're not going to get, I'm not going to get, hey, Liam, can we play best of 5 to see if I can win a point off you? But what you could do is you could get a bunch of professionals across the tour and just play a super tiebreaker. And then at some point, I'd hope to pick up a point across, 10 super tiebreaks, for example. What would you tackle?
I know if I played regularly, I'd be an all right player, but my technique is all over the place. Like when I hit my serve right, I do serve really well, but like it's so inconsistent because I just never play. And if you're not like playing all the time in tennis and like repeating everything, it all just goes. Like if you could like play for a few weeks and be in really good form, and then have 2 weeks off, and then you're crap again.
What would your tactic be? I mean, what's your game plan to get
against who?
Let's say Baez on clay. I mean, this is your man.
Baez on clay. But I mean, what could I do? He's like one of the best.
Okay, well, I'm your coach.
He is probably top 5 movers on clay in the entire like ATP tour. Probably.
Yeah, but you don't win titles for being a great mover, just a great mover. I know. I've just chosen. I mean, who else? I mean, I could say Rafa Nadal, Philippe Chatrier. Okay, so it's not like
Nadal I could beat. Nadal I could beat, but Sebastian Baez, no way.
But listen, there's a tactic. It's got to be a tactic, and I just thought I'll go for a player that you know well.
Tactic against Baez. Hit as hard as possible into his backhand and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And hit the back fence on every single shot. Yeah, that's a great tactic.
Right, sure. Yeah, exactly. But you've got a red line. You're not gonna out rally Sebastian Baez on clay.
Actually, Bianca, from what you've told me, I reckon you could beat Madison Bringle. Easy. Sorry, I'm always so mean about her. She's never done anything bad. Always so mean.
Barbados Ghost. That's where I'm from. We've had some fun tennis things down there. We used to have this thing called Tennis on the Hill, and they would bring down like different top players. And the tennis school that I went to, we got to be like the ball kids for it. So there was a year it was John Isner, Venus Williams. I was so young, I can't remember. I think it was Wozniacki one year. And then another year we were supposed to have, they were doing it again, and we were supposed to have Del Potro, and he was injured, so he pulled out. So the whole event got canceled, and they were scrambling the last week before to try pull the event together. And so they were trying to get Nadal to come, and he's like, yeah, I'll come for $200,000. And we're like, okay, no, whole event canceled.
Nadal wanted $200,000.
Yeah. Or his team. I don't know. Like it was, we were like, yeah, there's no way.
This is what I don't understand about like Rafa, Roger, like all of them who like request like these ridiculous appearance fees. I'm like, bro, you have earned generational wealth just from prize money alone. Let's not talking about clothing sponsors, racket sponsors, watches, and all the other stuff that comes with being a top pro. Like Nadal's obviously doing this stuff in Saudi. Djokovic's have meetings about doing stuff in Saudi. I'm like, guys, you don't need that money. Your family doesn't need it. It's like live golf, isn't it? Like it's just taking over. But that's another issue.
Yes.
I say that I do have a very nice pair of on-running trainers, I must say.
A Jethro is available for
It's
sponsor.
called the Rod. Yeah, they're called the Roger as well. But they are really nice to do. I've got pink soles as well. We love pink. My fatal flaw.
What do we think of all this backstage access that we get in Australia with various players just wandering up the corridors of whatever the arena is called or the complex is called? What is the complex called? It's not Albert Park. That's where the Formula One is, right? Is there a name for the what?
No, I don't know what it is.
So in New York, it'll be the Billie Jean King Tennis Center, maybe.
Melbourne Park, is that what it is? I think
Melbourne Park.
Melbourne Park, maybe it's Melbourne Park. Yeah.
I think it is. I've been there. I've played on the practice course. The indoor
Have you?
ones. Yeah. Really nice.
Gosh, you guys are so well traveled. I haven't been to any. The only professional tennis tournament I've ever been to is the National Bank Open here.
That's not bad.
That's pretty. That's pretty
good. So, you're not dropping a challenger in Edmonton now. I mean, that's not too bad.
that and some Davis Cup matches in the Caribbean. That's it.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was fun. I reached out to them. I was like, hey, on TikTok, I was like, you should give me press passes. And they responded. So I DM'd them and then I got completely aired.
What do you mean aired? What does that mean?
Like ghosted.
Yeah.
Yeah, John knows all about ghosting. As you so eloquently put earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I sound so posh. I've literally only been to Queen's and Wimbledon, and I only went to Queen's for the first time last year.
Never been to Queen's.
I've been to Wimbledon, but like the grounds, like the tournament wasn't on, so I just did a little tour.
Okay, like Roger Federer in winter.
I could actually get in though. He couldn't get in.
Did you turn up and you said, look, I'm the Instagram person that Canada said no to?
Did my little tour, did my filming. Got fleeced at the gift shop.
Yeah. Wimbledon like to fleece. The press center or the press organization, they charge £100 for a desk. So if you're a journalist or a media outlet, they charge you £100, which to me is just lame. So when you fill out these applications, they often say, "Do you require a desk space?" I mean, actually, funny enough, Miles asked me about this the other day, and I said, "Yeah, just always tick yes." And it's a bit weird, but they ask you that, I guess, so that way they know how many people are in the room and how much space they have for people. And some people maybe don't need it, you know. Maybe people are like, "Well, listen, I'm just gonna go and watch the matches and attend the press conferences, but I don't need any desk space." Anyway, cut a long story short, Wimbledon's, as far as I'm aware to this point, Wimbledon's the only one that says yes, but it's £100 a time, which is just so silly. Oh. I mean, it's supposed to be a sort of a relationship between media and organization, and obviously players as well, where we're sort of all kind of helping the ecosystem, if you like, but Wimbledon think that they're going to earn a few £1,000s more and charge £100 per desk.
Do you reckon Wimbledon will finally stop their stupid starting times on centre court this year, or do you reckon that's going to be their thing for a turn?
They may do because tennis is quite reactionary, and I'm not saying they're not wrong to react on this one, but yeah, they might do. They might do.
I don't know. They're so stuck in their ways.
They are, but yeah.
Okay, at this point in the Sabalenka match, she needs to double bagel her. Like, we're so close to it.
You actually want the double bagel?
Yes, yes. It's got to happen.
I do as well, because then Baez's one game looks better.
We had a
Sorry.
situation yesterday with sort of drama and matches going into fifth set tie breaks at the same time as Iga was mounting her incredible comeback, all happening at the same time. Today is the absolute opposite. We're like, listen, we've got Baez and Tsurenko on a race to one game, and at the moment Baez is leading. Of course, Baez has 3 sets to get as many games as he can. Which is worse, 6-love on the women's side, or 6-love, 6-1, 6-love on the men's, which would be more sort of humiliating.
That's definitely worse. You had 3 sets to try and make some sort of headway, and you got 1 game.
Well, he just can't do anything. Sinner's playing so well. This is so hard to watch. I mean, it's great to watch. I love Sinner. But my poor boy, he's just getting cooked.
Sabalenka pushing the serve clock here, which is kind of amusing because soon she's up 6-love, 4-love, and 40-30. She's going, I still need this breathing time. She's now 5-love up, by the way. Now, I tell you what Tsurenko should do. She should troll and retire. She should retire.
Oh my gosh.
That would be amazing.
That would be funny. You know, she'd go up my estimation a little bit if she did.
I mean, even Baez doesn't even win another game. Nothing will be as heartbreaking as that. Oh, God, yeah. Both French Open losses in the last couple of years have been just awful to handle for me.
It's only where I am. It's only 11 o'clock. How quick was that Anisimova? That must have been a fast straight sets win for Anisimova. Considering there was that epic juice game, and it was 2 kind of tight sets. They must have been done in like an hour and 20 minutes or something.
It was quite quick. Well, it was very fast-paced tennis.
Yeah,
but the rallies weren't very long.
No, it was the rallies weren't long, although the games could have been. But
yeah.
So 24 minutes. So we're about 45 minutes for this Sabalenka match. How long was the tie break between Blinkova and? It was a good half an hour. The tie break between.
I think it was exactly 34 minutes because they have the highlights up on YouTube and of just the tie break, and I watched only that, and it was like 34 minutes. 34
minutes. Okay, so we have just gone beyond that regarding this. So yeah, match duration is 49 minutes now with Sabalenka Tsurenko.
And she is 2 points from the double bagel.
Could be an issue if Sabalenka sort of has matches like this, and then she's suddenly playing Coco in the semi. I think I must say that I'm not as big on Coco as I think various people have been in the chat and various other things.
I've got to say neither am I. As much as I really like her.
I like her, but I think it's the draw that maybe is helping her with this ideology, if you like. That she's not got a bad draw.
It was a confliction during that final. I feel like everyone expected me to be rooting for Coco, and I'm like, you guys don't know me. Arena Sabalenka, that's here.
It's like me when like one of my favorite players is playing a Brit.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna.
Yeah,
people are like, oh, like if Thiem was playing Murray or whatever at Wimbledon, and I'm there, I'm gonna be supporting Diego all the way.
Yeah.
But,
or Diego or Dominic,
yeah. Sorry, yeah. I remember very, very vividly. I was at Wimbledon in 2009 with my dad, and we were on court 1 and watching Fernando Verdasco against James Ward, the Brit. And I'm a very, very long time Fernando Verdasco fan. And obviously the whole crowd is rooting for James Ward, this, ranked 150 in the world, Brit, whatever. And I was such a big Verdasco fan. I was just screaming, come on, Verdasco, all the time. Like, come on, Fernando. And I had all these, middle-aged Brits looking at me like, what?
Oh my gosh, that's like when I went and watched Simona Halep versus... Who was it versus? I think it was Pegula. And I didn't realize how deep the Romanian community in Canada is, because you would have thought we were there. And I was rooting for Jessica. So it was just me screaming, go Jess, while the whole crowd was going like, hi Simona. Feeling very outnumbered there.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I guess because Andreescu's Romanian descent. So maybe a lot of fans
Yeah.
tune in because of that.
I've got an image of Andreescu maybe returning to Canada after a US Open win, and she's like surrounded by thousands of
because that was the same year that we won the NBA championships. So the city was already like going crazy. So after she won that, they had another parade. We just had the NBA parade. They had a parade for her.
That was 2 really good US Open finals, like on the side. When was the last time?
Double bagel!
Oh, wow, you're ahead of me. You're laughing. Oh, by the way, the point before the double bagel was a double fault as well.
Oh, they didn't shake hands. I forgot they weren't going to shake hands.
To be honest with you, if I was Tsurenko, I wouldn't shake Arena's hand either, but only
regardless of anything else.
She double bagged me. That should be a rule in tennis, right? No handshake.
Yeah, I think Baez should not shake Yannick's hand.
That's another thing I don't like when it's like a doubles team and someone's just hit like a stinker of a point and they still go and tap hands. Like, no, I'm not tapping your hand right now. Like, you just messed up that point.
Do you reckon they hit them a little bit harder when they're really annoyed at the terrible shot?
Great job, so good.
No worries.
Listen, I think I'm going to say something on this handshake thing. Is no issue. You know, these players, Tsurenko and Svitolina and so on and so forth. Absolutely, do what you like. I don't mind. But I think Arena's come out of this quite positively.
Shot, Sebastian. Sorry.
As Baez almost gets 2 games on the board.
Well, it is saying 15.
What was the shot? Tell us what the shot was.
So Yannick hit a good drop shot and he followed it in, and Baez chased it down and kind of slid into it and kind of sliced it short and like really good angle cross court.
Just wondering when to end the stream, and I'm thinking at the end of Sinner Baez, but I might go and say that, and then it goes 5 sets or something ridiculous.
I mean, I will happily stay up till 7 a.m. if it means Baez gets to a 5th set
shortly.
Bianca, yeah, no worries. I mean, basically this whole show is ideally to go to the end of a particular match, whether that be Badosa, Anisimova tonight or other nights, of course, like that. I didn't want to like finish before Iga. I wasn't going to go right. Okay, 4-1 Daniel Collins in the 3rd. We can call this one a night now. But so I'll put a sort of name on the roster, and I want to get to the end of that match. But beyond that, it doesn't really matter. 52 minutes. Sabalenka got that done in.
Wow.
Oh, leave him alone, Yannick. Christ.
But yeah, I think we'll stay live, Jethro, until the end of Sinner Baez, as long as it doesn't go beyond 7 a.m. No, now I know your limit.
Yeah.
What time is it where you
lots
like?
of people.
It 2 a.m. Just gone 2 a.m.
Yes, it's gone 2. So this will be wrapped up by about 2:45. By the looks of it.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So Sabalenka, let me have a quick look at her route. I remember pre-tournament just thinking that was a nice draw for her and a horrible draw for Iga. And as it turned out, not a great draw for Raducanu. But yeah, Iga's draw, I mean, 3rd round is about as easy as it gets all the way there, bizarrely enough. If Iga wins this next tournament. Who, Iga? Oh, Iga's next round is not too bad. It's not.
Well, she's got Raducanu.
No, Raducanu's gone.
Okay, well, then she's got Raducanu out of the way. Yeah, it isn't like she's out of the way, so it's just Ostapenko. She's not going to lose to Svitolina.
You don't think so?
Plays Svitolina. No.
What, do you think she's not going to beat Svitolina? She will.
No, yeah, I think she'll beat her. She won't. I can't see her losing to her.
I could see her lose. I think Iga's the favourite, but Iga's performances thus far, the physical issues she had yesterday. Listen, you're right. I would make, assuming everything's kind of normal, Iga's a warm to hot favourite. But, you know, fast court, I think there could be something in this narrative, and maybe I'm building it in my head about Iga on a fast court. You know, her scores or her results, in Melbourne compared to New York and Wimbledon throwing in there, and then we see her on a slowish condition scenario, even on clay. whether that be Rome or Roland Garros, compared to, quicker or altitude conditions in Madrid. I'm building this narrative in my mind that maybe Australia is going to be a sort of a Rafa kind of tournament for her that ends up being just one of frustration.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, like, I agree with Derek. I think the only real threat to her before the final is Ostapenko, and she's playing really well.
I mean, that Raducanu loss makes a big difference, because suddenly because suddenly now that was, so who's her semi-final now? Is it from that group of players that's been tweeting around with like
the highest seed in that section is Qin Wenjing, I believe.
Qin Wenjing, yeah.
And she could have Sloane. So her semi-final is quite a comfortable win, you'd think, but Ostapenko is a major hurdle if she gets there.
Yeah, I feel like just something she showed at the end of the last match, it gives me more confidence that she'll maybe get the first win off of Ostapenko. Because at the US Open, when she was down, it kind of felt like she was done. Like she was out. She just didn't try, and which she could have easily done against Collins, which she didn't.
Yeah.
She fought back. So
I noticed a big difference like in that match was when she was making the comeback in the third set, she wasn't trying to kind of fight fire with fire. She kept trying to like hit Collins' pace with her own pace. And instead she kind of just started slicing more and counter punching rather than just trying to smack the ball back, because like she hates being overpowered. So that could have been a real big shift in her mind.
Sean here, and I love seeing questions in the chat that I feel capable of answering. When I see them, I have no clue. I sort of skip over them. But on this one, I think Iga's serving has been an issue. I mean, Danielle was eating it up for breakfast at times, and I know Danielle can do that with a lot of opponents. But the serve is more vulnerable than it has been at any point in the last 6 months, and of course, it's a long period since September. I think since her last loss. It's there that Kenin was breaking her at will in the first set. Danielle was breaking her at will across all 3 sets. I think Danielle had a breakup at least in each one of those, including a double break advantage in the second set and almost a double break advantage in the third. I think she was love 40 on the Iga serve in the third set to get a double break advantage, and that's that caption that we often see on Twitter as well. Iga won the match from here. I think it was love 40. I don't think I'm imagining that. But just one other thing regarding these lists that appear from journalists on Twitter from time to time is like, one of these players is getting to the semi-finals of a Grand Slam. And I thought, I looked at the list of players and I was like, yeah, some good players in there that, Qin Wenjing in a Grand Slam semi-final. Is that nuts? Sloane Stephens,
No.
It was only that I didn't know until right now that group is a potential opponent for Iga. But yeah, I find some of those lists a bit curious. I guess I know what they're getting at sometimes, but most of the time there's some really top players in there that have won Grand Slams and stuff. I mean, Azarenka wasn't in that list, was she? She was, yeah. Azarenka's in that list because she's playing Ostapenko, isn't she? In the 4th round potentially. Yeah. So if Azarenka,
that's Iga's. That means that means Iga would play her in the quarterfinal.
Quarters, yeah, true, yeah. But
yeah, I mean, she could. I don't know. I'm not very big on Azarenka these days, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Iga's path hasn't eased a little bit since Raducanu's demise, but yeah, I just thought that list was full of really good players that have got multiple Grand Slams in them, either in the future or in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we had it's not like Aslan Karatsev and about 10 others of that ilk, if you like. And I mean Aslan Karatsev pre-2021. Right now if you had Aslan Karatsev in the list of one of these guys is getting to the Australian Open semi-finals, well, apart from the fact he didn't even enter the tournament, that aside, it's not nuts anymore. That shot from Carlos around the net yesterday, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Sorry, I've been talking a lot. Go on, Jethro.
So the winner of this match plays Khachanov or Mashak. But I think it's going to be Khachanov. He's 2 sets love up now. Khachanov is just a beast at slams.
Nowhere the rest of the year, but somehow just...
Yeah.
muscles up for the
Crazy.
slam.
He kind of took
I mean,
Berrettini's spot of being just the most ultimate slam competitor.
Yeah.
And then there's like Pegula, who's the complete opposite.
Yeah, I didn't see
nowhere in slams.
Bianca. I didn't see a single minute of that match. But I thought Damien was being quite kind about that match in saying that it wasn't a crazy shock. But I was, even by Pegula's, underwhelming performances at slams, I thought that was a bit of a surprise.
Well, I've read that she made 9 errors and 30 unforced errors. I mean, that is appalling.
9 winners, 30 unforced errors. Was that for Pegula?
Yeah, that is shocking for a top 5 player. That's dreadful.
Especially because her game is usually so solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing a similar stat after her loss, I think it was to Madison Keys last year. There was something about that loss against Madison Keys, and there was a stat in there. I didn't join in for that match until I think the second set. But when I was watching that and looked at the stats, there was something very unusual about the winners, and it was like, I think it was like, not even kidding, it was like, maybe it was during the second set that I saw like she hit 4 winners or something in the whole match, and it's like, wow, that's timid, if you like.
Goodness. Who played worse, Pegula or Ons? Question from Derek. Well, I
didn't watch either.
So,
I mean, here's my only take is I didn't see the Pegula match, but Ons losing, okay, it was a very humbling loss, but Ons losing to Andreeva in general, just off the thing. I know, Bianca, you were suggesting that Ons was going to win that match, and that's fine. But Ons losing to Andreeva is not a I'm falling off my chair moment, if you like. Whatever. I know it was the manner 6-love 6-2, but Baez losing in straights, picking up 2 or 3 games to Sinner, or Baez losing in a similar fashion, but getting a couple more games against Liam Brody. And that's about the 17th time I've mentioned Liam Brody today. But do you know what I mean?
I think Brody might be the most mentioned person on the show tonight.
I think in the channel's history, actually. I think he gets mentioned more from the Damien, even. But I don't know. What do you think, Bianca?
I completely forgot what we were talking about just now.
Which is worse, Ons or Pegula's loss?
Oh, I mean, probably Pegula. Especially because it was the way she was losing was so the opposite of how she usually plays. So it was just like a stinker, beginning to end.
Yeah. What about you, Jethro?
Who played worse?
I mean, kind of what, not just played. I mean, was that? Oh yeah, played worse. Yeah, I mean,
because I didn't watch the match, so I can't say.
I saw Ons. But yeah, I mean, just which is the more jarring result? Maybe is the better way of putting it.
I've got probably Ons, but I mean, Pegula. Simply, obviously, she won a lot more games than Ons, but the 9 winners to 30 unforced errors is really bugging me for someone as good as Pegula. So, yeah, I probably Ons. I mean, it doesn't matter how good Andreeva is. You can't be a Wimbledon 2-time 3-time Grand Slam finalist and lose 6-love 6-2 to a 16-year-old. Sorry,
that's a very good 16-year-old who
an amazing 16-year-old.
A lot of personality. Yes. I feel like once she breaks through, she's going to be a star.
Fan favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, she's great. I'm sorry, that wasn't meant to sound patronizing at all, but I'm just saying from what we expect from Ons, at the end of the day, Pegula's never been beyond a Grand Slam quarterfinal. So she has Grand Slam struggles, but as a 3-time Slam finalist, that's if she lost 6-4, 7-6 to Andreeva, I wouldn't even be saying this, but 6-love 6-2 is just dreadful.
The score is jarring. I agree. And I did look. I remember. I think I said to Matthew at the end of his commentary, I was like, "That was a bit awkward at times." There was a couple of times when Ons was getting frustrated, and and it was just a bit awkward. I'm comfortable viewing it. She's down 6-love, and then she sticks her finger in the air when she wins that one game, and all that for someone who's the champion. But then on the other side, Ons on a hard court in Australia. What's her deepest run in Australia? I can't think of her going beyond the 4th round in her career. And I might even be too.
She lost to what, Vondrousova last year, didn't she?
Second round, I think. Yeah, although she had some injury issues, I think. But I know a lot of people obviously think about the run she had in New York, but yeah, Garcia.
The conditions are so different there.
Conditions are different. She was in a better vein of form, I would argue, at that point in her career. I don't think we're going to be seeing a player who's regularly going deep in the absolute stellar hard court tournaments across the tour. And by the way, this is something that can be clipped and captioned when she goes and wins Indian Wells in 6 weeks from now. But I just don't see it. I just don't see. I see her game as that. What I'm saying is that US Open final run will end up being the anomaly on her career rather than the norm. And so her going out to Andreeva, yes, the scoreline is humbling and awkward. And I think she could have played better. So I did watch that match pretty closely. And there were some unusual errors off her racket. 3rd game back, I think, after a spell out of injury. It might have been 2nd game back, I'm not sure. No, it must be, maybe 2nd. I'm not sure she played a warm-up event, but maybe someone could correct me if I'm wrong on that. So, yeah. A lot of factors involved, and Andreeva was sensational. I mean, she's known for her defense, some incredible passing shots, comfortably the better player. I thought Andreeva would win. I thought she'd win in straight sets. Of course, I didn't expect it to be as comfortable as that. But I think Ons just probably can't wait for the clay court season to start.
Yeah.
If she can remain fit.
I will say if Ons makes another Wimbledon final, I actually don't think I can watch it.
No, absolutely not. She shouldn't. She should be blindfolded and brought out onto the court. Like
I can't. Like that. Last year's Wimbledon final was just the most soul crushing.
It was heartbreaking. She definitely played worse than the first one, like by a country mile.
Oh yeah, she was. I mean, looking back, she
looked like she was in tears before the match was even over.
Yeah, like in the first set, you could see the look on her face. You just knew she was too nervous. It's really sad.
There was an
interesting
point that Pam Shriver made when she came on to WTA Weekly just after that.
Come on.
Go on, what's that? It's a couple of games for Sebastian?
Baez holds.
1 game.
saves a break point and holds for the 3rd set.
Well, your prediction of Baez in 4 is in tatters.
It's looking better by the minute. I completely agree, John.
You meant 4 games total. That's
yes.
Yeah. I would love 4 games total. God.
Oh gosh, sharing the chat. Marjan already broke. He scares me. Like anytime I see his name, I'm checking, is he in the bracket that Alcaraz is in? No. Okay, good.
Oh wow! So I actually misinterpreted that, but I understand now. So Marjan has broken Fritzy
if I see
already,
him against one of my faves,
he's like an anomaly that just scares me.
Like if I see his name next to, his upside is amazing. Like that road match against Alcaraz was just crazy.
It's clay. It should be clay for him. It might be clay or bust. I mean, we were just talking about Ons in a similar vein, but I mean, listen, he's having a great run here.
He's beaten some good players already.
Yeah.
I mean, who's he beaten?
Cilic and Cerundolo.
Yeah.
Cilic
and Cerundolo.
And straight set
as well.
Cerundolo.
Yeah.
Cerundolo's not made a good start to the year.
Might be making me eat my
He's
words.
another streaky player. Cerundolo is also really streaky.
The better Cerundolo, right?
I don't know what it is with Argentinian players. Like Baez is stupidly streaky.
Well, because all players from all sports, they've had to give part of their soul to Messi to make him the greatest there is. You have to sacrifice something.
Yeah. I was actually
Bianca,
watching...
Are you a vegetarian, Bianca?
I'm not.
All right. So you know what this is?
I am.
Look, I'm going to show you something now. Oh, well, are you vegetarian, Jethro?
I am indeed.
Oh, I apologize.
that?
2 years.
I mean, you know what this is? This is bacon, and it's streaky. So it's like Sebastian Baez.
I thought you were about to show me some like meatless something.
I think I messed that joke. I think I messed that joke up. Actually, I should have done. I think I've got the joke, but I just put it in the wrong order. I should have been like, you know what that is, and you go, I don't know, streaky like Baez. I don't know. I need to work on that one. I'll put it. I'll bring up. I'm going to bring that joke out again in 6 months from now, and I want you two laughing. Okay, next time, all right?
I'll try.
Yeah, well,
Heads up. I'll put it in the private chat.
Baez will be the French Open champion by then, so it won't even be relevant. I remember Gil saying, I think he had Baez on upset alert in his
Gil, Jethro. What's this Gil stuff, Jethro? You and him buddies now? You WhatsApping each other or something?
No, we just love his channel. His channel is so good. Like I love his videos.
All right, Jethro. All right.
Well, I can't big up Talking Tennis. I'm a part of it. That would be impartial.
No, I know. Gil was on it. By the way, Gil comes on here more often than you do.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but anyway, he was talking about this section of the draw, and he had Baez on upset alert, and he was like, but Baez fascinates me because it's incredible the amount of finals and titles he's had already in his career, but it's also incredible the amount of first round losses he's had. And I was just like, yeah, he is insanely streaky. Like, I didn't think he'd get to the third round here. But like, it's weird to think he's been to the third round of the US Open and Australian Open now, and not at French.
The only thing that's making me scratch my head more than Sebastian Baez's form is how a poll about the height of Diego Schwartzman can create 24 votes. So many strong opinions on the height of the diminutive Argentinian.
Honestly, why are people so interested in short men's bodies? Honestly, just let us be.
I just when I put that poll out, I was like, just 5 people vote, and okay, 24 votes. That's not too bad. Terry liking the bacon.
Okay,
Yeah.
I might dip out now. I've got
Bianca's do it.
Win, so I'm gonna go eat some dinner. And
Do it. We'll see you very soon. Big thanks for coming on today, and I'm sure our paths will cross very, very soon.
All right, bye.
Take care.
Nice to meet you, Bianca. And then there were 2.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to say to you.
Beat you
2
to it.
people to see the epic 5-set comeback here for Sebastian Baez. I mean, it's on serve. Sebastian's.
Yeah, but you could say, oh yeah, if someone's like, oh, what's happening in the Sinner Baez match, without giving them any context, you say, yeah, on 7 the third.
Yeah, 7 the third. 2 tights the first 2 sets. I mean, just going the way of Yannick.
Yeah, just edging it out.
Stefanos, by the way, I'm just seeing him on my screen now. Stefanos Tsitsipas just beginning his match. Had a couple of tricky assignments in the first 2 rounds, but now actually the third round is quite kind as far as I'm concerned against Van Asch.
I like Van Asch's chances to take a set though.
Do you?
Also, this is just like unfair. Like Sinner's just playing. It's like he's playing top spin tennis on easy mode. Yeah, I think I like Van Asch. He's got a very nice backhand. Very, very good mover. Stays in the rally well. I mean, I think Tsitsipas will still win fairly comfortably, but I wouldn't be surprised if Van Asch takes a set or gets to a tiebreak.
Okay. Mashak is serving for the third set.
That could be a 5 sets.
5 set could be.
I've always called him Makac, and I can't believe.
I think it's Mashak, but
Shots.
listen, I'm not a Czech speaker. That's a shot, presumably from Baez, right? I mean,
absolutely beautiful forehand. I think he should be declared winner of the match just because of that shot alone. Sinner could win this if he keeps getting Baez. Oh, sure, leave me alone. Honestly,
can we play you every week? That's a sort of football chant. Was it you just now that was a bit down on Azarenka?
Yes.
Her chances of beating Iga. Yeah.
Well, it was more her chances of beating Penko, actually.
Sorry. Yeah, okay, Penko. Okay. No, she beat Penko recently. She beat her in in Brisbane, I think. I think Azarenko Penko is 50-50. I mean, as are a lot of Penko's matches. But
this is the thing. I think if Ostapenko is on her game, it takes a really elite player to beat her. And even then,
I'm now pulling for Ostapenko to get that Iga match. I think we need one more Ostapenko win to just say, oh, there is a thing here. And the reason why I say that is 4-0 suggests there's a thing, right? But I think 3 of those were like quite a while ago or at various points. They were not like in the middle of that incredible like 70,000 match winning run that she had at the beginning of 2022. They were just moments, I think, maybe like 2021, maybe 2019 or 2020 or something. There were I think 3 of those wins came in some of those moments, if you like.
Yeah.
I need another US Open quarterfinal level win from her to be like, okay, this is a thing now.
Yeah. I mean, it was really frustrating in Rome because Iga was all over Raducanu and then had to retire.
Right. So Iga was all over. Iga retired. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about Iga Raducanu last year?
Yeah, it was a similar sort of matchup, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah, Raducanu's starting to develop something.
Sorry, that was a bit of a segue, but yeah.
Yeah, but I got you. Yeah, she's starting to develop something. It's not quite as cast iron, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like semi-final. Would you rather, if you're an Iga fan, would you rather she plays Raducanu or Ostapenko? I'm leaning towards Raducanu. As good as amazing as Raducanu is.
Say that question again, sorry, Jethro.
Like say Iga's in the semi-final and she awaits the winner of Ostapenko or Raducanu in a Grand Slam. Like who does she want?
I think she wants Ostapenko. I think.
Do you think?
Oh, what do you think she wants?
I guess I think it depends. If it's Wimbledon, I think she wants Ostapenko.
Yeah. Although I do think
then Ostapenko is just a threat everywhere,
and she's pretty good on grass. Yeah.
She is.
It's a really good question. My gut feeling was Ostapenko, just because I know she's got a French Open title under her belt, but you just might get a performance from her like she had against Coco in the quarterfinals last year after she just beat Iga, and then it was just like the complete
so bad.
Yeah, it was annoying in a way to watch.
Get the beers out, by the way. Sebastian Baez just hit an ace, and then he got a second game.
An ace for Sebastian Baez against the return devil himself, Yannick. There was a funny picture of Yannick watching the Carota boys doing a press conference, by the way. I saw
that was fantastic. I did see that.
Tsitsipas, great points down. Yeah, what else is happening? Tell me what's going on around the grounds.
Morosian, 4-1 up on Fritz. Machak takes the third. Sorry, Machak takes the third. So that's 2 sets to 1 to Khachanov. And Tsitsipas held in the first game.
And he was 15-40 down as well. So it was a good hold for Stefanos.
Well, that's the thing. Tsitsipas is very, very elite at selling himself out of trouble. Probably top 3 on tour doing that. I'd give Djokovic, Tsitsipas. I'd say Djokovic, Tsitsipas are top 2 on tour at serving themselves out of trouble, actually. And stats will probably back that up.
One thing I would say about Stefanos is, we look at various players on tour. I don't remember many chokes from him. I know he was 2 sets to love up on Novak at Roland Garros, but that was just Novak going for a shower and then just rebooting as only Novak can.
like the Terminator.
I was at that match. I was actually there for that final, and Novak just I think end of the second set goes for a break, comes out. He's had a shave, and he's like, "Oh, I see now. He means business now." And he was phenomenal.
Well,
phenomenal.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I can't really class that as a choke. I don't think losing a 2 sets love lead against Djokovic
I know
really counts as a choke.
Rafa's been on tour a lot longer, but I can mention Rafa chokes like that, And sometimes he still wins the match. That's the incredible thing. But, you know, Wimbledon final 2008, even US Open final 2019, and he won both of those finals. Other matches when he didn't win, you know, which is a couple of Australian Open finals, maybe against Novak in 2012 and stuff, and Roger maybe in 2017. But Stefanos, yeah, he had a match point.
I would say say there's a couple of matches against Coric, US Open, 2020, and Cincinnati Coric. Coric seems to be a bit of a bogey for him, but I think he's sorted that out now.
The Cincinnati one, I would give a different viewpoint on. I just think he just sort of gave up on my side. Some of the points in the tiebreak, which he lost, and then pumped, and that was a straight run. Yeah, he didn't even run
for the ball.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think the 2020 US Open,
good call.
Coric was a choke. Rafa choked against Tsitsipas at the Australian Open. I'm still not over that one.
Yeah. I think Rafa did.
That really annoyed me.
I think that one may have been physical too, but the relationship between physical and mental can be related.
I'd also, what happened to the 2019 Tsitsipas who beat Federer at the Australian Open? Like, he's just not the same player anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's more the 2021 Tsitsipas from that win you mentioned against Rafa, where his backhand was fine, to the Roland Garros final. That period, I've been talking about that period for a good 18 months now, saying
and he was like giving Rafa all sorts of trouble on the clay in the build up to the French as well.
Yeah, Novak 2 in Rome.
Yeah,
Novak 2 in Roland Garros.
I'm not really sure where it's all gone wrong for him, to be honest. And look, we're still talking about a very elite tennis player, but it was a pretty bad season last year.
I don't know what result would have to happen. It might even be a loss today, which I don't think will happen, but for Stefanos to potentially fall out the top 10. Bearing in mind he's defending, he's number 7 in the world, I think. I'm just looking at my screen now. I think he's 7 in the world. And he is defending, of course, final points here.
Well, I heard he would have lost because when he went and set down to Bergs, I think people said that if he loses in the first round, he's out the top 10. But I don't know for the rest of the tournament.
Not sure either. Yeah.
Any more Tsitsipas jokes? Yeah, sorry, Tsitsipas fans. We're now running through the most painful memories of your favorite player's career. Apparently, I can't really think of many apart from Coric.
Choked against Medi. I mean, I'm not sure if Terry's referring to Rafa here or to Tsitsipas or
which one though?
Medvedev. Who Tsitsipas versus Medvedev choke? Not sure. I know they've had a few fallout and stuff, and I know he's lost 2 Australian Open semi-finals, maybe at least 1 anyway.
Yeah, and Medvedev's just better at the Australian Open when he's in form. That is.
Yeah. Okay, this is a good one. Thanks, Derek. So if he loses today, he still stays top 10, but he drops to 10. Jake here saying, "I'd love Marajan to beat Fritz." Yeah, I think I'm on board with that.
That's annoying though, because to be fair, I've given up on my. Did you do the bracket?
I didn't know. I was too late. As
mine have been absolutely atrocious. So you're gonna laugh now. I went quite bold. I went not that bold entirely. I went Sinner to beat Djokovic in the semis and then to beat Alcaraz in the final.
That's bold. That's bold. Anyone but Djokovic is quite bold right now.
Of course, I know. I just thought I always pick Djokovic and he always does win, but let's have a bit of fun. Then I picked Ruud to beat Zverev in round 4. I think that could happen.
Yeah, that's quite bold. Not super bold, but quite bold.
My most bold pick, I think, was Chris O'Connell to beat Shelton in round 2. And I got that pretty wrong. But I don't hate that I chose it because Chris O'Connell's upside is really high. Shelton's got the pressure of defending quarterfinal points. O'Connell plays really well in Australia. He's a big match player. I just thought there's a chance there.
Jake. Now I know why Jake is annoyed at me for putting Kachanov as 10 in my power rankings because power rankings are supposed to sort of ignore emotion, and I just put him at 10 just because I thought, he's a fairly solid second weeker. That doesn't mean that he'll end up making the second week. He might even lose today, or he might end up losing today, which means he doesn't. But anyway, I couldn't remember who it was. I was saying a couple of days ago, I was like, somebody said that I was crazy for putting Khachanov in my power rankings at 10.
Oh.
Basically, if he wins today, I think he's justified it. Go on, what's happened with Baez?
Wow, what a point that Baez comes out on top of. This thing, Baez is playing well.
Imagine if he breaks. Imagine if he gets... he's got to hold serve here first, but...
Yeah. I mean, that was amazing.
I'll put
the angle on that forehand.
I'll put a slightly slower scoreline up on the screen, if that makes sense for Baez.
But yeah, the reason I talk about the bracket was because I have Fritz beating. I just thought Tsitsipas is too good to lose really early, but I got Fritz beating Tsitsipas in the fourth round.
But that's the battle of the underperforming slam players for 3 years, if you like, or 2 years.
Exactly. I was just like, am I really backing Fritz to get to a quarterfinal?
It's almost sort of Felix Thiem-esque in the first round, if you like. It's almost like these are two guys. I mean, obviously slightly different ages, or very different ages in their career. But I mean, I think Felix being in the third round, everyone's like, I saw the press conference of Felix, like, he says, yes, feels good now. I do feel like a bit better than I did over the last 12 months. And I had a lot of injuries last year. And I'm like, yeah, but I need you to win some really competitive matches now. I'm not sure who Felix is playing next. Maybe that falls into that category. Maybe it doesn't. Oh, I think he's playing Medvedev.
He's got Medvedev, but
yeah, right. So he beats Medvedev.
I think.
Go on.
Yeah, I mean, I saw enough against Thiem from Felix to think he's going to have a pretty decent year if he keeps that up. He was he had to be really, really good to beat Thiem. I mean, Thiem was very. There was a few factors for Thiem losing that. Mainly but Felix just played the big points better overall. He hit so many lines. He hit so many good serves. And Thiem's forehand just let him down in a few crucial stages. But Thiem was so close to winning that match. But Felix had to be good to win it.
What's happening with Baez and Sinner?
Sinner broke. Inevitably, after winning an amazing point as well.
Yeah.
I love that slice Marusian has, actually. Cuts it really nicely.
We'll be bringing you Djokovic against Etcheverry in a few hours. So make sure you tune in for that one.
Sounds like Tsitsipas is trying out the new service motion again. Really strange behavior.
Somebody tweeting about it, or
Jose
Morgado.
Yeah, well, he's not sucking up to Zverev or Kyrgios. He's tweeting something relevant.
How has he got? Is that 150,000 followers or something?
Nice. He does numbers, mate.
Does numbers, yeah. But he's also first to the game, if you like. So I think some other people do it too, but that's sort of
about 10. Must have like 10 screens. It is very impressive.
Yeah, but is he watching anything? Is he taking? And I maybe he is.
He's usually like live tweeting a match that he's clearly watching and then tweets the result. So he's like, I think he only really.
But I know what it's like when I'm just doing it for one match and I'm tweeting maybe when I'm watching it or even I'm there. And, you can miss stuff. Definitely, you can miss stuff that probably when you go into that press conference you're not quite so well prepared for, or when you're there to chat about the match afterwards you're not quite as ready as you thought you were, and that's fine, by the way, and it can get you. And this is not a criticism of Jose. I've come across him a couple of times, and at least he says hello, and I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of people won't even do that in the press room. So fine. But he probably falls into this category of a few people that I've approached about coming on the show. and maybe it hasn't happened for one reason or another. But I sometimes think people don't want to come on the show because I think they don't maybe have a confidence in their ability to talk about some of the things that I would like to talk to them about. So it could be Jose Morgado after the Estoril Open, for example. I'd be like, hey, let's come on the show, sometime next week, and we'll have a chat about the tournament. And I've had this conversation with a few people, if you like, and I just wonder if maybe they're just too busy. I get it, but I do get the impression that maybe people don't feel quite as comfortable in that sphere of. So in fact, even commentators who are amazing and they're doing their job, but they're doing a job right now while they're commentating on a match. And I could get, the commentator for this Sinner Baez match right now, and they're there in the match, they're living the moment and they're talking about it. But actually, because they're doing a specific job, they probably can't come on and give me an insight as valuable as some dude in the crowd, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if maybe it's like an ego thing as well. I feel like some certain journalists think very highly of themselves. And they're like, I don't want to go on YouTube. I reckon some of them think like that.
Of course. But actually these rejections are not, like, I get that. And of course they're busy and stuff. But I just felt with a couple of these people that maybe it's just that they can't tell me about Marujan, or they can't tell me about Mashak, or they can't even tell me about the match that they've just seen because I know what it's like. You're so busy doing a million other things that it's actually quite difficult to sometimes talk about the match that maybe you've just witnessed, but you're doing social media, you're doing, as in my case, YouTube, you're doing, your Facebook and Instagram or whatever, I don't know. That actually at the end of the match, you're like, oh, I know it was straight sets, but whereas you get, I mentioned him earlier, Steve Flink is like photographic memory kind of thing, where he's, he'll tell you what happened at 30-40 in the 7th game of the second set,
Yeah. Oh, break point. I think it's his first break point of the match.
I want to break a serve. I want one. Come on, Seba.
I would love a break of serve. What was I going to say? But yeah, I mean, but then you get like people like Gil, who is just so great with his like community, and he's come on this show a lot, and I mean, I'd say I wish there were more people like him, but I think he's so good that we don't need more people like him. I think he's just so great on his own. And like he works for Tennis Channel, and there just seems to be no ego there at all with him. He's just a really sound guy who loves tennis and also knows a hell of a lot about it.
Yeah, and finds time. Yeah, sorry about that. With the next point for Seba.
Poor Seba. This is just ridiculous from Mauritian. Anyway, not Mauritian, Sinner. Sorry, got.
So hi. This poll has now got 30 votes. I don't know.
All the matches,
people are creating alternative YouTube accounts just to vote in this poll.
Oh God. It's gonna be a news article on Tennis Tonic tomorrow, isn't it? Fans discuss height of Diego Schwartzman during Australian Open live stream.
Marujan winning that set against Taylor Fritz.
That's 6-1.
Tsitsipas's leg is being attended to right now. Nothing serious, but it's bleeding for some reason.
6-3, okay.
6-3, yeah. Jake, I sense you might be right, Jake, but the worrying thing is I'm only halfway through my second beer, albeit they are 600 milliliters, which is more than a pint, but only fractionally more. But I don't recall 600 milliliters being a denomination for beverages. But yeah, I think you might. I noticed, Jake, that I was struggling to get some words out a few minutes ago, and I was thinking, oh, it could be the beer.
We've been asked for some info on Tsitsipas' match.
Shall I give it, or do you want to say something? Because I've actually got it on my screen.
You go. I've only seen the score.
Yeah, I'll give it. Okay, so Tsitsipas was 15-40 down on his serve at the beginning of the match, but actually some nice net play actually helped him get out of a hole, along with some serving, including an ace. And now the biggest Stefanos news is that he's just had his knee attended to, but nothing to panic about. But it was bleeding, so that took some attention. But no long-term reasons to worry, and I still expect a comfortable Stefanos win, probably in straight sets. So good morning, Nicholas, by the way, who I'm guessing is tuning in from Greece, just given his name.
Yeah, I think he did say he was from Greece.
Okay. He's joined the chat a few times recently.
I think we should all just have eyes on this incredible 5-set battle brewing between Sinner and Baez. I mean, I just can't call which way this is going to go.
Well,
I mean, it's just so annoying. I mean, that's how well Sinner's playing. He's made 12 unforced errors, and Baez made 7, and Sinner's still 4-2 up.
Yeah,
it just shows how well he's playing when he's hitting wonders. No, nice skill from Baez.
Has he got another game yet? Like a third game?
It's 40 love, so
okay.
Oh my! I saw Sinner lining up that return. He's just absolutely annihilated that.
Sinner on the return is so elite. I mean,
terrifying. You could see him moving for it, and I was like, "Yeah, he's going to smoke this and hit about 110 miles an hour."
The Djokovic return is arguably the best of all time, but it's different. It's different. I mean, I'm old enough to remember Agassi, and Agassi took risks on the return. He took risks. The Djokovic return, which is maybe more effective and maybe the best of all time, but it does go to the feet. Like, it's going back down the middle of the court. It's going with unbelievable venom, and he's the only guy who can deal with a Kyrgios and an Isner serve and still get it back and real depth on it. But the amount of times that he's sort of touching the chalk flying up off a return is actually quite rare. Whereas actually when you see Sinner lining up a return or Alcaraz and Rune, who I love on the return as well, and then as I say, Agassi would be just painting lines off some of the best returns of servers of all time.
Yeah, for me, I kind of have a bit of a list growing of best returners of all time. I think Djokovic number 1.
Yep.
And then, I wonder if I don't know what you're going to say about what I have to say next, but
Sebastian Baez.
No, on this level below, just below that, I've got a kind of equal playing field of Nadal. Not because of the quality of his return, but the amount of service he gets back, which gives him the opportunity to get into a rally. And his movement's so good, he often does.
And Novak falls. I mean, he's won as you say, but he's falls into
Novak's quality of return is better.
Yeah.
So he wins that. I've got Nadal, Agassi, and Murray all on the same level.
Murray?
In terms
no,
of
I don't. I know what you're thinking. You were thinking I might broil or whatever the word is. The Murray? No, Murray's in.
No. That's not.
Okay. Who's the name that's going to shock me?
So I go Djokovic in his own tier, just below them, just below him is Nadal, Agassi, Murray. For me, this is just my opinion. Level below, Nishikori and Schwartzman.
Okay.
No, you can't. No. Before you laugh, check the return stats of 2016 to 2022. Schwartzman was top 2 in the return stats every single year, or top 3. To be that consistently good, I think has to be in with a shout. Like, Nishikori wasn't topping those stats, but I'm still putting Nishikori in this list. You'll see what I mean if you check the stats.
So what are these return stats? Like return points, one, breaks of serve?
Return breaks, it's like break percentage. Yeah.
Okay.
Break points 1. That. But it's held there. Nice.
It's over a period of time, if you like. It's over.
See, Jake knows I'm talking facts. And also, John, I said tier below. Like that's a tier below.
I know you
Nadal,
said tier below, but we're talking about
Agassi.
the best returners in the history of a sport. And if I'm right, he's in the top 10. In men's tennis, he's in the top 10, basically, of returners of all time.
Yeah, I have absolutely no issue saying that. I think many people would agree. Easily.
Yeah, I remain to be.
And a 6'1" Schwartzman, 300,000 Grand Slam times 300,000 Grand Slam champion.
I'll tell you what I will argue is probably putting Agassi in that Elite One category, if you like. That's not to say that I would put him ahead of Djokovic, but I would put those two. They're the ones that jump out at me. And by the way, this could be a sort of fuzzy thinking, as we do tend to do as we look back on the past and all that. But yeah, he would stare down Goran on a grass court and say, "Here we go. My return against your serve, and I'm going to beat you today over 5 sets," as he did in 91. And he'd try and do the same with Pete, although often he wouldn't quite be able to do it against Pete Sampras. But he could do it outside of grass against Pete, but just not on.
Actually, do you know who I'm also going to throw in with Schwartzman and Nishikori?
Okay,
Leighton Hewitt.
Oh, Leighton Hewitt now
basically ended the era of serve and volley in one Grand Slam US Open final. He said, "F your serve and volley, Pete. I'm here."
Mm-hmm.
I know Agassi was doing that as well, but Hewitt really put a stop to it, in my opinion.
And Hewitt also, that purple patch he had in the early 2000s, and it did coincide for him with the homogenization a little bit of the courts that by the end of the 2000s, which Leighton wasn't able to reap so much, but maybe players like Rafa and Novak, albeit very, very, very different players, and Roger, were able to be so dominant across the 4 different surfaces. I would argue that they slowed.
I guess Roger could be in that list as well.
The turners, yeah.
Yeah, that bunt, backhand return, yeah. But I'd probably put him on the same tier as Hewitt, Schwartzman, Nishikori as a returner. Maybe the Agassi, Murray,
and Federer. Schwartzman and Federer equal returners of all time.
Yeah. Look, John. I'm not saying that they're the same caliber of player. I'm not saying Schwartzman's.
I know you're not. I know we're looking at a particular aspect.
We're looking at just return. Who else would you have on that list besides who I mentioned?
I can't believe I didn't mention. Federer, but I would add the 3 players of today, which are all at the beginnings of their careers. Sinner, Rune, and Alcaraz. I would count. I mean, I know you're looking at these return stats over a 6-year period, and I don't know how many clay court tournaments are included there, but don't forget, of course, that's return points 1. As opposed to just looking at this particular shot in isolation, a lot of this.
But it's break percent, like games won, return games won, and also like we're talking about that period where he made 2 US Open quarterfinals, Australian Open 4th round.
Yeah, I know.
Like he made deep runs at a lot of hard.
If you're talking about the top 200 players to ever pick up a racket, I guess 4th rounds and quarterfinals can help. I don't know.
Ferrer, I think Ferrer's a good shout as well. I think we're building quite a nice top 10 here. And I'm sorry, I can't put someone who just catapults returns now and again into the top 10 yet. Like, otherwise Santiago Geraldo would be number 1 because he had that patch in sort of 2010, 2012 where he just smacked every forehand return he got and hit them in. Or Fernando Gonzalez, I need someone who's constantly breaking to be up there.
Derek is saying Medvedev's a good returner. He's okay, but he's not
a good returner.
I mean,
but he can't handle serve and volley well.
No. Yeah, and there's another thing, Derek, with the return of Medvedev. It's vulnerable, as you say.
Yeah, like you serve and volley against Murray, unless it's that dreadful Misha Zverev 2017 match in the Australian Open. But if you're serving volley against Murray, it's not often going to go well again for you.
Misha Zverev. He got to the quarters maybe that year, I think.
Yeah, and then got embarrassed by Federer.
Okay. That was quite a year for the Zverev family because I think Sasha played Rafa in third or fourth round, and it was a 5-set thriller.
That was a good match.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was back when he was just, an up-and-coming player.
It was also in a period, though, where Rafa just hadn't done anything at slams for about 2 years, which is insane. And there wasn't even in crazy injuries, with the exception of a 2016 French Open withdrawal. Now Stefanos is threatening a break, for those of you that want to know. Or I say threatening, it's 15:30. Baez Sinner, by the way, could be in the last game of the match.
No, I think we're going 5.
Davydenko.
I'm going to make a note. I'm going to make a note of our growing top 10 of returners.
Good.
I saw Jake say Ferrer, and I'm putting him in as well. Best ATP returners. I mean, do we go back as far back as like Jimmy Connors? Does he get a shout?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of guys that we're neglecting here because we just don't know how good Manuel Santana was on return. But yeah, of course you can, and maybe there's some stats out there to back this up. But yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about sending out a tweet there, I'd like to see it. But make sure you.
No, I'm just making it. It's just making a note in my phone.
Okay. But make sure you include the fact that you mentioned Schwartzman as being in the top 8 of returns of all time, and him and Roger are like in the same category.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Here's a question.
Tsitsipas is right.
Yeah, Tsitsipas definitely up on this list, obviously.
Sorry, no, I'm just saying he's
okay. Answer me this: is Federer above Nishikori and Ferrer in terms of returning?
Probably, but the debate regarding those two is me going probably, as opposed to.
I think he could maybe be in his own tier below Murray, Nadal, Agassi. I'll do that. And then we've got Nishikori, Schwartzman.
I mean, you can do whatever you like, but don't be surprised if I might giggle. I mean, you can put Schwartzman.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. You laughing about it won't change facts. Is all I'm saying.
Which is funny because I did spontaneously laugh at that.
Oh, Davydenko is a wonderful shout.
Yeah, Davydenko. Yeah.
What do we have? Connors and Davydenko, because we've got 8. We've got Djokovic, Nadal, Agassi, Murray, Federer, Nishikori, Schwartzman, Ferrer.
What we need is a quote from. I interviewed Gomez. He won the French Open in 1990. We just need a guy like that who spanned quite a few different generations, and just say who was the best returner that you ever played against across all the surfaces. And then you got
Michael Chang a good returner?
Yeah. He was really good from the baseline. He's someone, for example, that he won his only slam at like 19 or something.
Yeah, crazy.
And it was a French Open, and I forget who we beat in the final now, but go on.
So they've got the top 8, which may be tweaked, and then I've got Connors ? Chang ? Davydenko ?
Yeah.
Borg.
Yeah.
Oof.
Just don't know McEnroe. Yeah, just
no. McEnroe's not getting up there.
Okay, because I thought the things with Borg and McEnroe historically is sort of serve volley, and that's what we know them for.
Oh, Hewitt. Sorry, Phil Hewitt. Hewitt's in the top 10 easily.
Oh, easily. He's
by a mile. Hewitt. I mean, Hewitt up there. I'm going to put Hewitt below Federer. Actually,
Hewitt is probably just below the Djokovic Agassi level.
Maybe Federer and Hewitt are at least Baez. Oh, Bianca was right. 4 games indeed for Sebastian Baez.
Well, I think we should let this return debate roll. No return or I don't. I'm trying to think of a pun on return right now, and I'm struggling. I was going to say return to the winner's circle, but Baez has been in the winner's circle, so he's won a couple of matches here. But Yannick Sinner, by the way, who may end up becoming in this list of top whatever returners of all time very, very soon. And I'm probably backing up Jake's suggestion regarding my well-being in terms of alcohol right now, because I'm almost on the verge of hiccups at the end of my second 600 milliliter beer.
You could say Yannick Sinner returns to the Australian Open 4th round.
Yeah, what's his furthest at the? I think quarterfinal 2022.
And Sebastian Baez broke new ground by reaching the Australian Open 3rd round.
For him, yes,
Easily done.
Choreo on
Sinner
clay,
giving him a round of applause. Poor kid, he played really well and he got absolutely trounced.
Sometimes you get people out there going, "Oh, look at Sinner, great," but you're going to do that, right? You win, you lose 4 games against an opponent. You're not going to boo him off the stage, are you? Exit left. No. You know, and this is, by the way, it doesn't matter if it's Rafa or Novak or whoever. I see them all get, oh, look at Rafa applauding his opponent. The one player that Rafa, in his run at least to the Australian Open final in 2022, there was one player amongst the 7 opponents, but you know, he's obviously not including Medvedev in the final. There's one player amongst the 6 opponents en route. He did not applaud as he went off the court. May have been just a chance thing, may have been something else. But do you know which one of the 6 he didn't turn around and clap to?
Let me think about his draw.
Yeah.
Berrettini in the semis.
Yeah.
Khachanov in the quarters? Or was that in the...
No, Khachanov was round 3, I think.
Round 3.
Yeah. I can tell you his run more or less off the top of my head. There was a German in the first couple of rounds. Can't remember who it was. I'll check his run. I know his 4th
Why
round.
can I only win?
He's
Shapovalov. Shapovalov, 4th round.
No, Shapovalov's the quarterfinals, yeah.
Because he beat Zverev in the 4th round. Yeah. Okay, give me the rest of it, because I've got Berrettini.
I just remember him beating a German in the first couple of rounds, but I just can't remember who it was. And I remember. No. Oh, he beat Rusevori in that summer set. I didn't realize that. Come on.
Oh, Mannarino.
Yeah, that was 4th round. Yeah. I want to get his
that was 4th round. That was the first 2 rounds.
No, it's 4th round. Yeah, it was that. Hanfman was his 2nd round, and Giron. Okay, Giron was his first. Yeah, okay.
Okay, that was easy.
So we know Berrettini. I'm going to share it on the screen. We know Berrettini was the semis, and there are the other 5 on the screen right now.
Hanfman,
yeah. And
is that the one that he didn't applaud?
I'm not telling you. You gotta guess amongst the 6.
Okay. Let me
listen. We could be reading too much into it. It might be just he was doing his shoes up at the time that these opponents. I mean,
I know. It's definitely Shapovalov.
Is that your final answer?
Because he acted like an absolute child, Shapovalov.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I'm locking it in. If it's wrong, fine. But that's my answer.
Shapovalov.
Yeah.
Is the correct answer.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, it's the correct answer. It's the only one he didn't applaud. Now, I don't know why. The funny thing about Hanfman is I was interested to hear you on him, because I nearly let the cat out of the bag on Hanfman, at least in terms of him, but regarding him not being the one. Because Hanfman was one of these that Rafa says, listen, if he plays like that, he's going to be in the top 100 very soon. I remember that comment. The Khachanov one, by the way. Him and Khachanov, I think, get on quite well. And on top of that, Rafa has said that it was the Khachanov match that made him realize that there could be so before that he'd not obviously played for 6 months until the Melbourne Summer Set. That was nice, gave him some matches on Rod Laver Arena that I know Owen think helped him a bit, but I think his run to that title has been mentioned in terms of the fact that it probably wasn't a stellar run to the title despite being a 250. But Rafa says, after that Khachanov match, I thought I have a level here now that's going to give me a good shot at the title. Whether it means going all the way or not, I don't know. But
I thought so too.
Then the Manarino match is all about that tie break, which Manarino makes some really
Crazy
unfortunate
tie break.
Yeah, but he made some unfortunate decisions on shots. I think none more than like at 14 all or 13 all. There's one where he can put it anywhere on the court, and or maybe it was a set point. He can put it anywhere on the court and he wins the set, but he puts it in the one position that gives Rafa a chance of because Rafa's like in the middle and he's in no man's land, like in the middle of the court, and Manarino kind of goes down his throat on it a bit, or in terms of between his legs, and Rafa just sticks a racket. Oh no, it's actually to the right of Rafa, and Rafa just sticks a racket on it, and it comes back and wins that set in the match. And then that Chapeau match is he's obviously under the weather, but Chapeau does kind of gift it to him in the 5th set, I think.
Yeah. Chapeau plays Nadal really well as well. Always does.
Rome got match points in Rome a few months later. Yeah. Didn't win the match. I think he might have been. He had a double break on him or something like that as well in one of the sets that he didn't win. Anyway, that's Chapeau. And then the Berrettini was just him and Rafa get on quite well as well, I think. But it was funny, that semi-final, because I was watching it in Hungarian, not through choice, but I happened to be in Hungary. It wasn't like I need some Hungarian commentary here. But no, I was in Hungary at the time, and they were just laughing, I think. And I can only guess, but they were just laughing at how Rafa was bullying his backhand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, imagine having a weak two-hander and you've got Nadal just ramming topspin loopy forehands. It's just it's not going to work.
All right. Big thank you, Jethro, for braving the conditions, and those conditions included a straight sets loss for Sebastian Baez against
tough one to take. I think I need to do a press conference on that loss, to be honest.
Indeed. Nicholas just wants an update on Stefanos Tsitsipas. He is a break up. He's leading 5-2, Nicholas. Nicholas, chill. All right. Your man's going to be okay. He's going to win the first set. I'm sure of that. He's going to win this match and set up a 4th round clash against a tennis player. Someone who I'm not sure who's going to play. But Nicholas, he's going to win this match. All right. And he's going to lose to Novak in the quarters. So
I think he plays Fritz or Morosian after this. I'm certain. Actually.
That's okay. Then Nicholas, then we can join the chat and we can focus a lot more on Stefanos, because I think there'll be a lot more intrigue and doubt regarding his chances of making the quarters. Whoever he plays, whether it be Madajan or Taylor, I think that'll be really, really interesting. Sean here saying, good job, Jethro. How about that?
Thank you very much, Sean. It was tough to endure.
Jake here saying Oscar Otto. I don't think it's in reference to you or me. I think
no, he said it was the German player.
I just couldn't remember. Yeah, I just couldn't remember who. I knew it wasn't Struff. And actually, I knew it wasn't Oscar Otto as well. Anyway, Hanfman, apologies for not remembering who you are. You're more than welcome to come on the show, and you'll forever be known as a friend of the show thereafter. So looking forward to that. Listen, one more time, big thanks, Jethro, for coming on the show today.
Cheers for having me on, John. Very, very enjoyable, as always.
And to everybody else, you know the drill.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.